All right, hello YouTube. Today, we'll be hopefully finishing up Project Eden's Garden. Well, Chapter 1. With, always forget to say this, but with my very bestest friend, Evan, Masked Man.
Hey! Who's that guy?
Doing the male voices for me.
Hi.
Yes, this is him.
Is me.
Tis him. Oh, without further ado, yes, the voice boy. The very good voice boy, if I may add.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Hell yeah. Because we left off on quite the cliffhanger from you.
Yeah, we did. We very much did.
We were getting nitty gritty of things to where we believe that there's currently only one person that could have possibly done anything right now.
Mm-hmm. But one person without an alibi.
Yep. Throwing out the bewares of spoilers at this point, but yeah, one person without an alibi. Diana. No. So, let's push through this now.
Whoa, yeah, wait, hold on. The menu music is still going. That is strange.
Ooh, interesting. So wait, let me test something real quick.
Oh wait, hold on. I found it.
You have 2 instances of the game up, don't you?
Yep, I did.
Because I was like, I only hear the normal stuff. It was the game was twice as loud because you had the game up twice.
Oh my god. I don't even know how that could have even happened.
Yeah, that's impressive, really. That's impressive. And to have made it happen so perfectly that there was no... They were both perfectly in sync to be twice as loud. That's fucking incredible.
Oh, and now the... Okay, hold on. Let me adjust the music real quick. Because now it's too soft. Is it F1 or F3?
F1? F1. F3 is the controls, F1 is the, Oh, man.
Wow, there has to be something going wrong. Oh my god.
My scuff is starting to rub off over towards you now.
Oh my god. Yes, that was why the music was so loud.
That is so impressive.
I just have to laugh. Oh my god. Okay, is the music a little better now? Not so soft? I think that's probably okay. Okay, now we can get into it.
Okay, hell yeah, because whether they like it or not, soon enough nobody will be able to deny Diana killed Wolfgang. Alright, and now we're going into a non-stop debate.
Alright, here we go.
So now we gotta get right back in the nitty-gritty. Remember, right-click is the button and not left-click.
Yes.
If it was Diana inside that boiler room, could she be the one who left the blood trail? Because if so, that might be her blood on the knife, too.
Diana's blood? Are you saying she wounded herself?
Wounded herself? What makes you think that?
I don't know! Why else would the killer's blood be on their own weapon?
Did we not already agree the killer was wielding a rolling pin?
Well, maybe they had both. The rolling pin in one hand, and the knife in the other.
Dual-wielding weapons? Holy, this killer's next level.
Oh boy, that person's point is clearly impossible. They should realize as much if I point out that piece of evidence.
What?
So there was one that stood out, and it was towards the end, because, you know, we're back in that neighborhood trying to find the contradictions that are in the statement, and there was one that I saw that hit me with the pieces of evidence that we have. I know it's been a while. One of them requires you remembering a very specific piece of information about it.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to keep trying to push you in the right direction, if you want to listen through it again, or what.
I'm gonna try to listen to it again.
If it was Diana inside that boiler room,
he's talking about evidence, so
blood trail?
the only one that's in
so,
here is the
that might
rolling
be
pin.
her blood on the knife too.
Diana's blood? Are you saying she wounded herself?
Not with the rolling pin.
Wounded herself? What makes you think that?
I don't know. Why else would the killer's blood be on their own weapon?
Did we not already agree? The killer was wielding a rolling pin?
Well, maybe they had both. The rolling pin in one hand, and the knife in the other.
Dual wielding weapons? Holy, this killer's next level.
All right. Thoughts?
Okay, you said it was towards the end, so that narrowed it out to Toshiko's statement. Because that's one that I can contradict. The one hand thing, I remember the rolling pin had handprints on it. Is that what it's going for?
Yes, the rolling pin.
Did it had two?
It had both sets of handprints on the one handle to show that it was held on one side
that it was
instead
held
of with like it. Yeah.
Oh, that it was held two-handed.
Yeah, it was like a baseball bat, essentially, is how they were holding it.
Oh, okay.
Is the way that shows that on there. Yeah, instead of having the handprints on like one on each side, if you were to use a rolling pin like normal, both the handprints were on one side, which shows that they held it very strangely. And that's where that one comes in. Yeah, it's one of those facts that, like, unless you go back through the evidence and read the nitty-gritty on it, where, like, I think if you hit, like, a F1, I think you can look at the truth bullets in that section.
Oh, I can't right here, but...
Oh, you can right there? Okay.
No.
But, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because they got the rolling pin in... Yeah, it would be the rolling pin on the one-hand dual-wielding situation at the end.
Okay. I will skip through it.
If it was Diane inside that boiler room,
Could she be the one with the blood trail? If so, that might be her blood on the knife too. Wounded herself?
Did we not?
The killer was wielding a rolling pin? The rolling pin in one hand.
There you go. That's wrong.
Yeah. Allie, that is
Heck
so
yeah.
fair. You guys recording it every night.
No.
So you remember
Yeah.
it.
Taylor was only wielding the rolling pin during their confrontation with Wolfgang. You can tell just from looking at the pin. There are two handprints wrapped around the edge, as if the killer had been holding the pin like a tennis racket. Which makes sense, because you can swing with more force if you use both hands. And that's what a killer wants when trying to knock out a grown man.
Then who held the knife?
It wasn't the killer, so it was most likely the only other person in the boiler room. Wolfgang Akire.
What the hell are you talking about? Wolfgang, carrying a dangerous weapon? Bullshit!
That's my thoughts too, Grace. He doesn't seem like
If
the
you were in
type.
his situation,
But maybe he
wouldn't
would.
you? Wolfgang received an anonymous message asking him to meet in a basement, all whilst in the middle of a killing game. At that point, it doesn't matter how much of an optimist he is. He'd know better than to come unarmed.
A knife isn't super hard to find, either. Wolfgang probably just stole one from the kitchen.
Besides, if Diana is the one who got stabbed, it would explain the blood trail. Think about it. She arms herself with the rolling pin and attacks Wolfgang, getting hurt by him in the process. For some reason, possibly because of the blackout, she doesn't clean the blood trail she's leaving, and returns to her dorm room after.
No! That's wrong!
Huh?
I wasn't stabbed. If I was stabbed, then I'd have an injury.
That's true.
But there's nothing, right? There's nothing on me.
Depends. If a vein got nipped, you'd be seeing blood no matter the size of the cut. Of course, that also means a small cut will need bandaging, which I'm not seeing on you.
You may not see any injuries on Diana, but that doesn't mean they aren't there.
Huh?
It If she wanted, she could simply hide her injuries from view. After all, someone like her has exactly what it takes.
Oh, because she's a makeup artist?
How did Diana hide her
Oh,
wounds?
yep. Her talent.
I got it.
Got it.
Talent. As the ultimate cosmetologist, Diana could easily cover her wounds.
It makes sense. With the right equipment, she could probably disguise even a bandaged wound.
As Diana's bunking partner, I've seen firsthand how many different cosmetics are inside her room.
Damn,
So
girl.
unfortunately, I have to agree.
Oh, poor Diana.
Well, Diana, did I get anything wrong?
No. No. But I.
Wait. Diana, did you just say no?
And oh,
For real, I was like, huh? Girl, what? What do you mean?
As in, no, you're not wrong that I covered up my wounds?
Yeah. Oh, girl, this ain't
Oh,
looking
crap.
good.
Oh, crap. You guys know what this means, right, guys? Diana basically just confessed!
A confession?
Frodo.
Are you for real?
Scooby-Doo ass.
It makes sense, though, doesn't it? Diana got wounded, which proves she got in a fight with Wolfgang, which means all that stuff about Wolfgang going to the boiler room, all that stuff really did happen.
I see. I see now what you were saying.
Nah,
Diana.
This can't be
Led
it.
Wolfgang to the boiler room by writing him that note. And when he arrived, she attacked him and killed him. And now, she's been lying this entire trial, hoping we would never suspect her. Yeah! How cruel!
Diana. You.
Oh, God.
It wasn't me!
I thought Grace was gonna fucking leap over that podium.
I know, right?
I promise.
Oh, no.
it
She's
wasn't
crying.
me.
Oh, honey. Let her cook. Let her cook.
To think she could preach about friendship after committing a violent crime.
And then try and sentence the rest of us to punishment.
Oh, man.
Golly, you're right. If we voted for the wrong person, we would have been executed.
Look at fucking Tozu back there.
He's like, I love this. This is my favorite part.
For real.
So-
The drama.
Fuck! Seriously, Diana? What the hell is your damage?
Can we at least hear Diana's side of the story?
Yes. Yes, girl.
Her side?
Well, you know, Diana has, I just think it's fair we listen.
What does it matter what she says? Look at the evidence. This case, it's closed. We know who the killer is.
The real killer just saying, I'm getting off scot-free.
If you really want to ask for Diana's side of the story, then do it after the vote. No. No, no!
Vote. That's right. We have to vote for the killer. Diana, I've proven beyond a reasonable doubt that she's the killer.
Ugh.
I've proven it beyond a reasonable doubt, so...
No. No. No.
Why is it that when I hear her cry, I get this strange nagging feeling in my chest?
Listen to your gut, Damon.
Why does a tiny part of me want to believe the things she says? why all of a sudden do I doubt myself? Why do I have a heart?
Oh shit. For real. Okay, so she's
got
gonna...
four
Diana was
here.
the one who
Taser
lured
gun.
Wolfgang to the boiler room. Once he got there, she killed him immediately.
Then she fled the crime scene, hoping the rest of us would never learn the truth.
Oh, these are the emotional ones, right?
Diana?
If you decide to try and go for that, you would have to find the right one and use it in the right place.
But I would never murder Wolfgang.
If you don't have an alibi, then you obviously did.
But I
wanted to believe so badly that you were innocent. Why didn't I see you for who you were?
If this goes on any longer, I'm gonna be sick.
What are we waiting for then? Let's get this over with and vote.
All right, is Diana telling the truth? How is that possible? I already know the truth.
Dude, you don't know the truth. Okay, hold up. This music is too loud for me now. I can't think straight.
Okay. Fair.
Oh, dang it. It's not letting me go to the menu.
Oh. It can't be possible. Not unless...
Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room.
Alright. Oh, that only lets you go look at the truth bullets. I don't think it'll be able to get to the options right now. I think you have to get through this
Once
part.
he got there, she killed him immediately.
Then she fled the crime scene, hoping the rest of us would never learn the truth.
Okay, wait, pause.
Okay.
Grace saying... Hold on, I have to slow down so I can speak.
You can use F1, and I think that paused
Does
it
it
for
pause
you
it?
technically when you were looking at your truth bullets
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
When Grace said... When Wolfgang got there, she killed him immediately. That doesn't make sense to me because why would the killer want to kill them immediately if they didn't have anything to say? Like, why kill him immediately? That makes no sense.
You are cooking. You are almost at the. You're at the point, but the puzzle pieces are. You made it in a different way than they would expect you to, but you are absolutely on the right. You are correct. It is the suspicious note is the part that you're looking at.
Suspicious note?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because secret A15 and close the door. The secret part makes me think that like they wanted to talk to him about something. Or something of the matter and not just kill him immediately. That makes no sense.
You are so close. I will say this is funny that you're both right and wrong at the same time.
Oh no.
Do you want me to give you the easy answer for it?
Okay.
Look at the Tozu tablet again.
Tozu tablet? Just this right here?
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
Wolfgang at Curie Ultimate Lair, discovering the boiler room on the underground floor, kneeling in the water, and his upper body is slumped over the concrete platform. Estimated time of death is 9:35 a.m.
Anything stand out on there?
How far away from the original time they wanted to meet was?
Yeah, that's
From
an hour. You can watch a whole movie in that time gap right there.
From 8:15 to 9:35.
Yeah, his time of death was 9:35. The note said
To meet at 8:15.
meeting up at 8:15, which is very far from immediately.
Yes.
So that is the route that you will be going down.
Okay. So to contradict Grace's statement of killing him immediately. Wait, I forget what truth bullets I have.
The suspicious note.
Oh, the suspicious note? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta go through all this. Get back to the beginning.
You can go ahead and set your truth bullet to the correct one, too.
Oh. Okay. Ah.
Oh,
Yeah,
the timer, I wonder, was the timer actually going? I don't know, but...
Oh, the timer didn't pause?
Huh? I get, well, it's fine, because it doesn't change, and it sets you right back to where you were, so it's okay.
Oh,
Damn it, I missed my chance. Yeah, even though it's like, if they can't even listen to me, this case will never be solved. But yeah, don't worry, you can just hit continue and it's fine. Yeah. I'm still turning this debate around.
Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang.
Hey, it actually sets you right back to where you need to be.
Once he got there, she killed him immediately.
Let's go.
Okay, there we go. It's all good. It's all good.
Hold on. Grace, you're overlooking a crucial detail.
Huh?
Do you recall the note I found in Wolfgang's blazer pocket? It asked him to meet in the boiler room at 8:15 a.m. But, according to the Tozu tablet, he died over an hour later at 9:35 a.m. That means Wolfgang didn't die right after he got to the boiler room.
What's your point?
My point is that the killer had no reason to lure Wolfgang to the boiler room and then wait over an hour to kill him. There's no guarantee another person won't enter the room during that time. It's in the killer's best interest to be in and out of there as fast as possible. When we originally discussed the note, we lacked the context to properly understand this time discrepancy. But if we go with your idea that Diana killed Wolfgang immediately, then that discrepancy becomes all too clear.
How do you know Wolfgang didn't just arrive late?
He was already on his way when I ran into him at 8:10 a.m. He must have arrived on time.
Same goes for the killer. I doubt Wolfgang would stay in the boiler room for long if no one came to meet him. For that reason, we can assume Wolfgang was knocked unconscious soon after he arrived. But there's such a long period of time between him being knocked out and him being killed. Unless you want to tell me he and Diana were in an hour-long struggle, then I'm sure there's more to the mystery here.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh!
Yup.
Grace.
Yup.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you see this is a trick? All of Diana's blubbering and crying is just a farce to make us think she's innocent.
I wouldn't fall for a farce like that. My only concern is the evidence not adding up.
If you're still not convinced Diana is the killer, then let me show you something you overlooked. I call it undeniable fucking proof!
Alright, time for your least favorite one again.
Okay.
With the WASD slashing, but then you gotta have a little...
I don't give a damn what Diana
sword
says.
ready. You gotta slash those words
She's
as they're
a
coming
one
across.
person without an alibi. The blood from her wounds places her inside the exact same room where Wolfgang died. How could the killer be anyone but her?
Okay.
Grace seems to think she knows more about the crime scene than I do. But if that were true, she would have already realized the flaw in her argument.
I don't give a damn what Diana says.
Okay,
Not only is she the one person without an alibi.
Oh, crap. Wait.
The blood from her wounds.
You're good. Just try not to hit the orange ones yet.
Same room where Wolfgang
You're
died.
winning.
How could the killer be anyone but her?
That's first one done.
If Diana lured Wolfgang downstairs, why would she take over an hour to kill him? It doesn't make sense. Not when there's a risk of someone else entering the boiler room.
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door. Boom. Look at that. No intruders. Now take your argument and shove it up your ass.
Oh, man. All right, and that one is where you will actually want to right-click on one of those things coming up so you can truth slash it with your blade there. Did you notice anything that she was saying?
Okay, so there is some things that she said that didn't come up in letters on the screen.
Yeah, I think it's because you're slashing them right as they were popping up, so like they didn't come fully in.
Well, it's because when she said that she could just lock the door, like that part didn't come up. Was it because I slashed the other one too early?
Yeah, I think it's because you slashed it so early that it hit that one at the same time and worked it out. But you're on the right track, it sounds like. When it comes to what you think is your point, you just need to right-click when that's on screen, and that'll cut through that argument.
Okay. Okay, I'll try to go slower so I can...
Alright. Trio relays the flaw in her argument. Alright.
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door.
That one.
There you go.
Goes worse.
Goes that doorknob.
The doorknob, because it's flipped.
The boiler room door can't be relied upon here. If Diana locked it, she would be trapping herself inside the boiler room.
What?
The doorknob has been flipped so that the keyhole faces inside, while the lock faces outside. Had you investigated the crime scene more closely, you might have realized this detail sooner. In any case, locking the door would lock everyone inside the room, not outside. If Diana was the killer, she'd be better off leaving the door open.
How the heck do you even flip a doorknob? Sounds like something only a tradesperson could do.
For real.
Meh. You really think so? Swapping a doorknob is easy. Well, last time I did anything like it was a while ago, but everyone here knows knobs are screwable, right? If you get a screwdriver and know what you're doing, you can rotate the doorknob quick smart.
If you can swap a doorknob, then I guess anyone can.
Damn, Mark.
Right on.
Wait.
Jet.
Wait, are you saying that like it's a bad thing, or?
Is that why Diana remained in the boiler room after Wolfgang died? She had been locked inside?
What do you make of the footsteps then? If they were Diana's, it would imply she escaped the boiler room. How do you suppose she did that?
Diana's way of escaping the boiler room, huh?
Oh, Dark, hello!
Dark,
welcome
hello!
Welcome in.
Welcome to the party. From the evidence in the boiler room, I'm fairly confident I can deduce a method.
Okay, how does she escape?
Yeah.
Not the knife. Oh, the bobby pin. She freaking lockpicked that shit.
This is it.
Boom, nailed it.
Boom. Got
Near
it.
the boiler room door, I discovered a thin piece of metal. At first glance, it didn't look important, but if you were to fold it in half, theoretically, it would look like a hairpin.
Ah, she used the classic maneuver.
Theoretically.
Picking a lock.
Theoretically, it could be a hairpin, I guess.
Can be done. It just takes a bit of practice.
Diana probably had this hairpin inside her makeup bag, so she used it to fiddle with the lock until it eventually came undone. Which, judging by the timing of her footsteps, happened late into the blackout.
Messing with a lock in pitch blackness. Whew, now that would be impossible for me.
Right. Even if Diana did access light, like through the cozy trinket, undoing the lock would still be difficult. Way too difficult of a situation to deliberately put herself in.
In which case, that could only mean one thing. Why could Anne not leave the boiler room?
A bucket was placed on the door. Someone else.
Wrong
locked.
case!
I got it.
Nailed it.
That was pretty easy.
Someone else must have locked the door.
What? Cassidy.
If we go with our current train of thought, the doorknob was rearranged so you could only lock it from the outside. It doesn't make sense for Diana to rearrange the lock, enter the room, and deliberately trap herself inside, which means someone else must have locked the door. I know this doesn't necessarily clear Diana's suspicion, but it's strange enough to warrant further investigation.
I'd rather resolve this threat before we move on to voting.
Yes, John.
Agreed.
King.
We could easily miss something important if we turn our noses away.
So, why did this mystery person close the door in the first place?
What if they saw the scuffle between Wolfie and Diana and closed the door to protect themselves?
Instead of seeking help? Or trying to stop the scuffle?
You say that like closing the door isn't exactly what you would do.
Kai would do that, though.
Yeah.
What kind of asshole do you take me for?
Dude, you'd be way too scared. I love him, but he would be like, ah!
Any chance they locked it
Start
to prevent
crying.
Diana from escaping?
And somehow unscrewed the doorknob without drawing attention to themselves?
Didn't you hear him? He's talking about the door being locked, not the doorknob being unscrewed.
Unless two entirely different people just so happen to interfere with the boiler room at two entirely separate intervals. The one who locked the door is most likely the one who flipped it, yes?
Very smart, Winona.
Yes.
Then you should be wondering the same thing. How did they unscrew the doorknob without catching anyone's attention?
Yeah, doesn't sound possible.
Not in the moment, it isn't. But what if the doorknob had been swapped beforehand? Say this person knew Wolfgang and Diana were coming to the boiler room. They could have swapped the knob in advance, waited for Diana and Wolfgang to enter,
Fucking framed her ass.
and then closed and locked the door.
So the flipping of the doorknob was premeditated?
With what we currently know, I'd wager it's our safest assumption. At least until we hear Diana's side of the story.
John is such a king. I love him.
Hell yeah.
Diana, since you were the last person with Wolfgang, your testimony could be our most valuable piece of evidence yet. You need to tell me what happened. If not for me, or for you, then at the very least,
For Wolfie.
do it for Wolfgang's sake.
I'm sorry. I'm really
Whoa. Oh, honey. Oh, God, I'm scared.
I wanted to help. I wanted to make everything okay.
God, what is she gonna say?
But all I could do was be useless.
Oh, you're not useless.
All I could do was watch him die.
Oh. Oh.
It's all my fault. All my fault. For doing the wrong thing.
So is this a confession, or...
No!
Huh?
I didn't kill Wolfgang. And I don't know who did. But I still failed him as a friend.
Oh, honey. God, I am hating whoever the fuck killed Wolfgang more and more by the damn second.
I failed him then. And I failed him here.
Oh, girl, I'm sure it wasn't your fault.
But if I told the truth, things would be worse than they already are. But now that I've said nothing,
Diana watched Wolfgang die?
It's okay, sweetheart.
Oh,
Come on now, take deep
Ingrid.
breaths.
Yeah, we'll believe you no matter what you say.
Lying through his teeth. Guy. That did not sound convincing.
Yep. It's looking like Diana might actually be innocent. It's looking like that, but the nagging feeling in my chest still hasn't gone away. What am I doing? Because of one girl, I've been doubting myself and jumping from one argument to another. If I can't piece together my own thoughts, how can I possibly piece together this case? I need to get a grip on myself. I need to keep sight of myself and the goal of this killer. Whatever's thrown at me next, I need to persevere. Because if I don't, if everyone else here votes wrong, I won't leave this place alive.
What's happening?
Has all this murder hubbub left your head in a tizzy?
Hey, buddy!
Hi, Tozu.
Perhaps you need a short break. Something to lighten the mood and let you collect yourself. Something like a nice cup of tea.
Okay.
Welcome, one and all, to the first episode of Tozu's Tea Time.
What is this? He looks
Tozu's
so
tea time.
cute.
If you haven't already, please sit back and relax. Here, we do not use our brains, but deal only in gossip. Now, a question from me to you. What are sheep good at, if anything? Most humans, and some sheep, tend to respond with a resounding absolutely nothing. Sheep cannot create art or invent medicine. For goodness sake, they can't even perform music.
Is this a jab at Wolfgang?
Well.
Their limited speech and quadrupedal locomotion prevents them from reaching the heights of humans. They're practically glued to the lower echelons of the food chain.
Okay, you can shut up now,
No
Tozu.
matter how hard sheep may try, they will never be anything more than their number tags. I can't say I like that answer. Too pessimistic for me. Plus, what of the sheep who still try?
Okay. He's
The
backtracking.
sheep who realize their fate but continue to challenge it all the same. That they can be so determined to prove their worth when humans have all but deemed them microwavable meals. Isn't that something admirable? What a shame our sheep had to be so misguided. It seems that's about all the time we have. Thank you again for attending Tozu's Tea Time. No need for extravagant farewells. I've an inkling you'll be back for tea sooner than you can say Jack Robinson. Who's Jack Robinson? I have no idea. Ta-ta!
Oh, Tozu.
Bye, Tozu.
Diana,
That was
now's
interesting.
your chance to defend yourself. Tell me what happened.
Where do I even start, though?
Oh
How
boy.
about you begin by explaining why you went to the boiler room?
Why I went there? It was 'cause of a note.
A note?
2 days ago, someone slid one into my room. I never got to see who. I just heard a knock. And when I walked over, there was a note under my door.
I don't remember any of this.
Sorry.
Okay.
It was midday-ish, and you weren't there at the time. And I didn't show you the note later because, well, I'll just read you what it said.
That That's a long note.
Diana, as you are aware, it is our obligation to speak with those whose blackmail we have obtained. After receiving your blackmail and reading the information disclosed in it, I believe a meeting between the two of us is warranted. In 2 days' time, please come to the underground boiler room at 8:45 a.m. Make sure to arrive promptly and close the door behind you.
8:45.
To avoid discourse, do not show anyone this letter. Do not approach me about it either, even in private. There's always the chance someone can hear. Wolfgang.
Alright, we know that's obviously not Wolfgang sending that letter. Because he got a letter telling him to go to the boiler room, so that...
That he did.
What the fuck?
Wolfie wrote this?
Oh, Latte! Hello!
Latte!
Hello, hello. We're getting into the thick of it now.
Get into the nitty gritty.
Wolfgang had Diana's blackmail? But didn't he have Jean's?
Hold on a sec. If you take a closer look, the handwriting on that note, doesn't it resemble the handwriting on Wolfgang's note?
You're actually right. Even though Wolfgang's note has been water damaged, the words I can make out were in the same messy scroll as Diana's here.
Then someone else was posing as Wolfgang?
The killer, most likely. They must have thought his word was the only one Diana would follow.
Guess it worked, huh?
I didn't want to show this note earlier because I was scared of how people would try to twist it. Like saying I faked the note or that I decided to kill because of it. I thought it would be better to just stay quiet.
Just like how Damon stayed quiet.
I know you guys think I'm stupid for agreeing to meet in a place like the boiler room. And I am. I am stupid.
Oh, no. No, Diana, you were not.
Oh, no.
Didn't want to disappoint Wolfgang. In case he really did write the note.
Oh, honey.
Which was why I left my room around 8:40 a.m. and went downstairs.
Did you catch any strange movement down there?
No. It was just me. I did find the boiler room door hanging open a little bit, but I didn't think much of it. I just went inside and closed the door behind me, since that's what the note asked me to do.
What did you see inside the boiler room?
The boiler room was really dark, so the first thing I noticed was actually the security camera light. My eyes had to take a few seconds to adjust to everything else. But after that, I finally saw him.
Oh boy.
Oh shit. Oh, my son.
Wolfgang was lying in the water, making these weird noises.
Oh, baby.
It didn't seem like he'd even noticed me entering the room. Not until... Wolfgang? Hearing his name seemed to snap him out of his trance, because he slowly rose to his feet. Wolfgang, are you okay?
Oh, his face.
It's you.
Oh.
Huh?
I can't believe it. I really am finally meeting you.
What do you mean?
Oh, buddy, what?
Please, forgive me. Please forgive me for what I've become.
What?
Wolfgang?
Despite how hard I tried, and how much I wanted it to be true, I could never become you.
Oh, is he talking about his dad?
I will always be a failure.
No!
It's okay, Wolfgang. Look! There's stairs over here. Come over here and we can get out. I have no idea if he didn't hear me, or if he was just ignoring me. But, okay. I'll get closer to you then. I went over to the ledge of the platform, the part where the fence had a gap. Just take my hand, okay? And I'll pull you out. He slowly stumbled over, and he held my hand. I didn't really think I could pull him out. I just wanted to be there for him. It was the best I could do, because I didn't want to enter the water. Staying on the platform felt so much safer, and I really, really hate that it did. It's okay, Wolfgang. We'll get through this together, all right? I was looking at him when I said that. I was looking right at him. But somehow...
Oh.
Somehow I didn't think to react.
Oh, baby, no. Oh, no.
He reached inside his blazer.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Ouchies.
Bring her back. Bring her back!
Bring who back? Who's her? Oh, buddy.
I tried to leave the room, but the door was locked. I didn't know what to do. I started looking around for things to defend myself with. And that's when I saw the gun.
The taser gun? Did you use it?
I took the taser, and I aimed it at Wolfgang, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't shoot him. I just backed away from him.
Oh, he looks so rough.
I couldn't understand anything. Why was this happening to me? Why was I being attacked? Why can't I do anything to...
I'm not like you. I'll never be like you.
He does not even see Diana right now.
Nope.
Oh, no.
I won't give up until the world knows. I won't give up until everyone knows me as...
Oh! Bro!
Boom.
All of a
Oh my
sudden,
God.
everything turned white. Everything in front of me. Except Wolfgang.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
I know you do.
In those few seconds, he became pitch black. And then, so did everything else. Even though I didn't see Wolfgang fall over, I heard it. His body cracking against the pavement, and his knife falling into the water. I waited for the gasp of pain, for him to groan or mumble or say something. But there was nothing. There was just me and the silence. That's how it happened.
Jesus Christ, bro. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Bring back Tozu's tea time. We need that right now.
Yeah,
Come on.
give me back the Tozu's tea time. Jesus. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
That man attacked you?
He was clearly
Oh my goodness, Diana,
not himself.
I'm at a loss for words.
This is getting too much for me, bros. I think I'm gonna faint.
Oh, Grace.
Holy shit. So Diana really did watch Wolfgang die.
Why was he so violent towards her? It's like he became an entirely different person.
The word you're looking for is crazy.
Despite how hard I tried and how much I wanted to be true, I could never become you. Why would Wolfgang say those words in that particular moment?
He's singing his
How'd
dad.
you manage to escape the boiler room after all that?
By picking the door's lock.
For reals?
I wasn't even thinking. I just started feeling my way back to the door in the dark. And then, well, my supply bag. I remembered the spare hairpins I always kept inside. So I felt around the bag and dug one out. To be honest, I have no idea how I managed to unlock the door. The whole thing was repeated trial and error. Just minutes of me telling myself that somehow this next attempt will finally work.
Whoa! Actually unlocking the doors. That's like hitting a bullseye blindfolded.
Now we know why it took so long for her to escape.
I realized why it happened. Getting trapped inside, I mean. The door's lock was on the outside. So, someone must have set the lock before I came downstairs. So that when I closed the door, I'd be trapped.
The lock is normally on the inside, too. The killer purposely flipped it, then left the door open so you would be the one to close it. That's for why the killer locked the door to begin with.
It was to frame Diana, right?
Right. The killer made Diana trap herself inside the boiler room, so they could kill Wolfgang in front of her, and force her to remain by his body.
That's so fucked up.
Uh-huh.
Like, that is so fucked up. Like, doing that to Diana? Of all people?
I know, right?
Like, damn.
Had their plan worked, Diana would only be able to escape if someone from outside entered the boiler room. By which point, that someone would be stumbling across what looks like a cut-and-dry murder case.
If the tournament folk found Diana, they would have been playing right into the killer's hands.
Speaking of which, Diana, I'm curious to know, did you unlock the door before or after the tournament attendees arrived downstairs?
It sort of happened at the same time.
So she was the person running, I assume.
Yup. Yeah, you caught on quick.
Like, when I opened the door, there were already people walking down the stairs. Obviously, I couldn't stay inside the boiler room. If anyone saw me close to Wolfgang's body, it would look really bad. The hallway was a bit easier to make out in the dark. So I walked over to a wall bordering one of the storage closets and hid behind it. And stayed as quiet as possible. I was still bleeding a little from Wolfgang's cut though.
Oh.
And some of that blood ended up dripping onto the floor around me.
It's the blood on the underground floor! It's all coming together!
This was shortly before us tournament goers split up. And you made a run for it, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Down the hallway, up the stairs, and then as quietly as possible into my room. Since everything was still really dark, I had to patch myself using the Tozu Trinket's projection as my light. I realize this is a lot, and I know it's hard to believe without proof. So, if you guys could just give me a second.
Reaching into her makeup bag, Diana pulled out a wipe and began scrubbing at her arm.
I cleared up the blood pretty fast. Luckily for me, the cut wasn't that deep. There's still a chance it may leave a scar, though.
Holy crap!
That's awful! It's okay. I'll cover it back up again.
Oh.
Why did Wolfgang attack you for no reason?
I wouldn't say it was for no reason.
You're being kind of insensitive, man.
Huh? I didn't mean it like that. What I'm trying to say is, Wolfgang's actions may look random from an outsider's perspective, but from his perspective, well, judging by his behavior, it seems like he saw something which shook him to his core.
John, you are so smart. You are so smart, my man.
Like, there was something in the room that Diana didn't see?
That's impossible! It was only me and Wolfgang in the boiler room!
I don't believe John meant it in a literal sense.
Wolfgang unliterally saw something?
Unliterally saw some. Oh, Jet.
He thought he
I love
saw
you, buddy.
something, is my point.
You mean he had been hallucinating?
What did Wolfgang hallucinate for him to turn out the way Diana described?
You'd be surprised by the sort of things our minds can invent. I'm lucky to have never experienced anything myself, but I know some who have hallucinated nasty things. Demons and monsters. Or the feeling of being tortured. If Wolfgang went through something similar, I can see why he lashed out.
Now what the heck is going on at sea?
Of course, these hallucinations don't just happen out of the blue. More often than not, they're substance-induced.
Substance-induced?
Just say Wolfgang took a hallucinogenic.
Or someone drugged him.
Hallucinogenics?
One which induced a lot of fatigue, too, judging by the way he lumbered about in Diana's account.
It would explain why Wolfgang mostly stayed in one place.
One place, which happened to be in the water.
Seems very deliberate, aye. I reckon the killer knocked Wolfgang unconscious in order to drag him into the water, but knew he would eventually wake up again. So they drugged him with something which would basically make him despondent. As for where the drug came from...
Oh no! Don't tell me the killer robbed...
I knew exploring it was a bad idea.
It? What's this it we're talking about?
Oh, Cassidy. Girly.
He doesn't play these kinds of games.
Pharmacy, obviously.
Yeah, good job, Kai.
Why the heck did we think leaving that place open was a good idea? Now someone's stolen an item and drugged Wolfgang.
Fuck! I knew our promise was too good to be true! I can't trust any of you guys! And don't say Wolfgang drugged himself! Who wants to be tortured by demons?
Demons?
Stranger people do exist.
Girl.
That's rich coming from you!
Honestly.
It's just as I predicted. Exploring the pharmacy ended up paving the way for murder. Should I have made more of an attempt to stop people from exploring?
Damon, it's not up to you, buddy. He's like constantly like downing himself or like doubting himself.
Because I'm the best person here. I'm the only one that can do anything around here. Everyone else is bumbling babies.
Yep, there's that.
It all relies on me.
Oh, buddy.
Back then, all I did was... With cautious yet determined expressions, the students entered the newly opened pharmacy. Giving everyone unrestricted access to medication sounded like a disaster in the making. But having already evoked the group's ire after speaking my mind before, I wasn't about to make the same mistake twice. I'll just stay quiet and let them do their thing.
Oh, Nina, welcome in. The stream has been going well. Getting into the very nitty-gritty of it now.
Uh-huh. Then again, nobody would have listened to me. Especially not with Wolfgang in control.
If we know where the perpetrator got their chemicals, I guess our next step is figuring out how they did the drugging.
Agreed. It would help us better understand the timeline of events, and potentially even validate Diana's testimony.
Sounds like you guys can leave this one to me. I'm the kind of person who knows someone back to front the moment I meet them. If you haven't already realized, I've gone and read this killer like an open book.
You're the last person I trust to reach a correct conclusion.
Just you wait! The second you hear what I gotta say, you'll be eating those words!
Hey, let's hear it, bud.
Hanging on Wolfgang was drugged may validate Diana's testimony. Question is, how did the killer drug him?
Alright, here we go. Oh wait, how did the killer drug him?
Took a pill.
The freaking the pinpoint on his neck.
Just jab him at that point.
How would the killer make him swallow a pill?
It's not a pill.
There was no proof they restrained him.
Didn't the killer knock Wolfie out? Maybe that was their way of restraining him.
You can't force an unconscious person to swallow a pill.
What if it was a drug? You don't need to eat.
Oh, bye, latte. Good luck at work.
Like an inhalable substance?
Inhalable
Yeah, like a powder or something.
The pharmacy does have a large collection of over-the-counter sedatives, but there's too many for us to isolate any specific one.
How did the killer drug Wolfgang?
Oh, I can't look at my stuff here? Dang it.
Yeah, it makes you do the other part when it takes away your timer from it.
Okay, well, I think the whole drug thing is definitely related to his neck.
You're so smart. You're catching on so quickly. You're so smart.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
But it's not from the powder that I think Cassidy mentioned. And then there's no way it was like an inhalable substance. That whoever else mentioned that.
No.
But I would have to... Those would be contradictions anyway. I forget what the other ones were. I gotta go through it again.
The ideas being thrown around, only one has any real merit.
I bet the killer took a pill and forced Wolfgang to swallow it.
Just jab him at that point.
Oh, wait.
How would
Oh, I missed
Yep,
it.
you're there. You're good. You can fast forward now. But yeah, that's it. Yep,
It's like a syringe.
Yep, you gotta give it a little jab.
You can't force an unconscious person to
When I saw that before with the jab, I was like picturing like an elbow jab, not like a like a syringe jab.
I got a little jab jab.
I was like, oh, it's not that.
Yep. I bashed through all that.
A little jab jab.
A little jab jab.
I bet the killer took a pill. Forced Wolfgang to swallow it.
Just jab.
Nailed it.
There we go.
There you go. Right.
When Wolfgang's wounds were discussed earlier, it was mentioned he had a tiny red dot below the bruise on his neck. During the investigation, I thought this dot was a scab from a mole or pimple. But knowing Wolfgang was drugged, it's clear to see what it really is. A puncture wound.
Considering the timeline of events, an injection would check out. If Wolfgang got drugged a little after 8:15 a.m. and was already feeling the effects when Diana arrived at 8:45 a.m., then we're dealing with something which entered his bloodstream in under 30 minutes. Any normal pill would have taken, probably an hour to dissolve.
Whilst an injection would be much quicker. I see.
That's probably another reason why the killer knocked Wolfgang unconscious. It would have been incredibly difficult to inject him if he was still moving around.
Yeah, plus he's freaking tall.
Yeah.
Trying to get like an injection into his neck, you'd have to reach up so high.
Yeah.
Only when they had him right where they wanted, dazed and unable to fight back, did they plunge a syringe into his neck.
With said syringe being filled with a hallucinogenic.
But if this all happened a few minutes after 8:15 a.m., doesn't that make it impossible to pin a suspect?
What? Why is it impossible?
Everyone had an alibi.
Because everybody's got an alibi for that time. I mean, Damon and I were in my dorm room, and the other party people...
8:15 a.m. Yeah, I was already in the dining hall with Jet, Mark, and Eva.
I left Wolfgang's dorm right after the morning announcement and spent the rest of the hour with Jean.
Winona and I were in our dorm room together.
And
Oh,
me
were
and
you?
Elise were already sitting down in the courtyard.
Toshiko was giving me the medication she grabbed from the pharmacy.
I swear, there's like all these ships. Like even the hetero ships. I'm like, yes, perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
And, I stayed in my dorm room until 8:40 a.m.
Oh no. If everyone can be accounted for, we really can't discern a suspect.
So, we're back to square one?
Someone here must be lying.
And doesn't plan to stop.
What's screwing us over here? Is there any part of this mystery we're getting wrong? Or could it be we're overlooking something? It was ruled out as having no relation to the murder because the wires don't touch the water. But the position of it, the fact it's destroyed, the timing of the blackout. One coincidence is easy to wave off, but when it's coincidence after coincidence after coincidence, then there's something more going on. There's something more to the generator.
More to the generator. Since everyone has an alibi, like, I'm thinking it was fucking rigged. I have no idea how the fuck anyone could rig a generator to explode, but
If
that's my
everyone
only
has an
theory right
alibi
now.
for 8:15
Hear ya.
a.m., is it possible the killer never actually attacked Wolfie at that time? But his little note said to come by at 8:15 a.m., didn't it?
His little note. I love her.
Ingrid, do you remember what you said when we couldn't figure out who stole Desmond's taser?
To be honest, I'm drawing a blank.
You suggested we switch subjects and discuss Wolfgang's injuries instead, which we did. As a result, we ended up unraveling more about the case than if we had stuck to the original topic. Right now, we're at a dead end. If we can't get any more leads out of this current discussion, then that's a sign to switch our focus.
Switch our focus to what?
I want to take another look at Diana's testimony.
Mine?
Back when you were describing Wolfgang's death, something stuck out to me.
I won't give up. Until everyone knows me as... Boom.
What was he gonna say? Was he gonna like just say his own name? And like not like...
You know, it would be great to get to know that, wouldn't it?
I wish. Oh, poor baby. All of a sudden, everything turned white. Everything in front of me, except Wolfgang. In those few seconds, he had become pitch black. And then, so did everything else.
Ouch.
The flash of white Diana described must have been the generator exploding, with the darkness afterwards being the blackout. Think about the order of events there. In just a few seconds, the boiler room's generator explodes, and Wolfgang falls over dead. Doesn't it sound like the two are correlated?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Oi, didn't we go over this already?
Oh wait, hold on, I see some in the chat. Allie, Old Money is a ship name for Ulysses and Winona?
Yes.
That is the cutest thing ever. Oh my god, that's so cute. I ship them. That's adorable. That's adorable. Alright.
We did. The generator has nothing to do with Wolfgang's death. Its wires weren't touching the water.
Indeed. Which is why the murder weapon is the taser gun.
Diana said she never used the taser, though.
Then she's lying!
What? That's not true! I never fired the gun!
It's all good. I believe you.
I'm the weapon guy.
Desmond!
Sure, nobody can dispute the gun was fired. What can be disputed, though, is when it got fired. I wouldn't be surprised if the killer fired that gun way in advance. Like, sometime before Wolfgang arrived downstairs and left it in the boiler room for us to find later.
What? So the taser gun isn't the murder weapon?
If Wolfgang wasn't killed with the taser gun or the generator, what other options are we left with?
The taser gun is the only option which makes sense. The murder weapon can't be anything else.
The true murder weapon. Is it possible there's a third source of electricity we haven't considered yet? Am I grasping at straws by thinking something like that?
And anyway, the only proof Diana never shot the taser is her own word.
Huh?
Ava! What do you mean?
Damn.
All the evidence supporting your version of events is circumstantial. The note you showed us? That could be a fake alibi you made for yourself. The fact that it has the same handwriting as Wolfgang's is already suspicious.
Damn, she coming for her.
That just mean the same person tricked them?
If you earnestly believe Diana didn't write it, then maybe. But do you see what I'm saying? There's no proof Diana never wrote the notes. There's only her word to go by. Because if she did write them, everything about her entering the boiler room at 8:45 a.m. and being locked inside could be a total lie.
I get what you're saying. But if we run with the idea that Diana was the one waiting for Wolfgang all the way back at 8:15 a.m., then we're stuck with the issue we had last time. Why did Diana wait over an hour to kill him?
That's also circumstantial. None of us know what really went on between those two in an hour. Ruling someone out because they took a long time to murder is stupid.
Without context? Sure, I'd say the same. But since the boiler room is unlocked, anyone can enter. If Diana knocked Wolfgang out, then she took over an hour to kill him with that influence light.
Okay, but who would enter? No one wants to make a detour down some gross, freaky-looking basement. The boiler room is probably the most covert place a person can be.
Most covert place? Her words do make sense. After all, I chose to meet Tozu in the boiler room for that very same reason.
Diana claims she didn't write the notes, and she claims she didn't shoot the gun. But where's the hard proof she didn't do any of these things?
Allie star for that small glimpse of Tozu.
5 seconds! For 5 seconds!
There he is, Allie.
Oh, man.
He's right behind David.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Nah, get him out of here. Nobody wants to see that man.
The answer lies in what destroyed the generator.
The taser destroyed the generator. Somehow. I don't know how. Because, that doesn't make sense, because Diana was there when the generator blew up. Oh, what the fuck?
Now, welcome to the murder mystery games.
What the fuck? How? What the hell? It had to have been rigged, but how?
All you guys did was discuss theories, never anything concrete. Settling for a theory isn't good enough when our lives are on the line. In the same way Ava can't rule out Diana's involvement in the case, we can't rule out the generators.
So, we have to figure out what destroyed the generator? What should we do? Just throw out ideas?
It's what we've been doing this whole time.
Oakley dokley.
There it is, the Oakley dokley.
I love her.
Oakley dokley.
Oh my god, I love her so much.
All right, everyone, let's put our thinking hats on. If we work together, we'll unravel this mystery for sure. Ready? On your marks, get set, go!
Alright, here we go.
Alright. Time to find a new
Taser gun,
path to
shrapnel,
move down.
odd smell, and generator. Ooh,
Why
all
did
of
the
these.
generator blow up?
Could have just been an electrical fault.
So, a coincidence?
Is this the best situation? To be waving stuff off as a coincidence?
Did the killer throw something at the generator that made it explode?
Perhaps it's the fault of the taser gun? The electrical discharge it released might have connected with the generator and created an overabundance of energy, which caused everything in the circuit to pop.
Probably. There's no proof anything besides the taser was involved.
In that case, the generator blew up after Wolfie got shot with the taser.
Such a dastardly taser, leaving so many victims in its wake.
No, I'm long past the point of falling for this surface level diversion. In reality, the truth is floating just within reach.
Why did the generator
hold
blow
on.
up?
Could have just
Okay.
been electrical.
See, dang it.
So, a coincidence?
I was thinking
Is
about
this the best situation?
about
to
the
be waving stuff
extension
off as a
cord
coincidence?
as like
Did
something
the
else that could be
killer
involved,
throw
but it's
something
not
at the
in here at
generator?
all.
That made it explode?
Perhaps it's the fault of the taser gun? The electrical discharge it released might have connected with the generator and created an overabundance of energy.
See, this is what I was
which
thinking,
caused
what
everything in the
Ulysses was
circuit to
saying.
pop.
Probably. There's no proof anything
But-
besides the taser was involved.
In that case, the generator blew up after Wolfie got shot with the taser.
Such a dastardly taser, leaving so many victims in its wake.
I will say that, especially as a first time around, this is a real tough one to figure out on your own.
This is really hard. Because the Ulysses thing is what I was thinking it was, but you can only contradict it. So I'm like, that it can't be that now. So I'm like, what the hell else could it be?
So, if you click once more, the game gives you a tiny hint. A sliver of a hint for you. When you look at the second line that Damon says here.
Okay. Truth is floating just within reach. The floating part? Because there's water.
Yes. So of the pieces of evidence, if you remember the ones that you had available,
Had odd smell.
there's one that connects to that. It doesn't help that you first got half of this evidence like 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
Dang it, because... Okay, I'll just have to go through it
Why
again.
did the generator blow up?
Odd smell,
Could have
generator...
just been an electrical fault.
The shrapnel?
So, a coincidence?
Is this the best situation?
But what is that?
There was that.
Waving stuff off
There was
as a
the whole
coincidence?
bit of like random pieces of metal that was floating in the water nearby Wolfgang's body.
Yeah, but
Something
what
that
is
doesn't really have a source
Made it
connected to it.
explode?
Perhaps.
Not quite yet. Don't worry.
What could it contradict? Grayson, please stop. I'm
The
trying to
electrical
think.
discharge it released might have connected with the generator and created an overabundance of energy, which caused everything in the circuit to pop.
Probably. There's no proof anything besides the taser was involved.
In that case, the generator blew up after Wolfie got shot with the taser.
Such a dastardly taser, leaving so many victims in its wake.
Alright, do you want me to guide you towards the right point?
Because all of like the one word things like don't make sense for shrapnel. But I think Eva said something like nothing else in the taser could have been used. But
Her statement was that there's no proof that anything beside the taser was involved. Which, when you move all the other points, that is your part. Is that like she's saying that only the taser could have been the only other thing that was involved in this case that there's any evidence of. But you have all the random metal that's
so we have just
floating
random
in the
shrapnel
water
that we haven't
that
even looked at.
States there was entirely something else in the room involved there.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she's saying dead set that it doesn't matter what anyone says because there's nothing but the taser was involved.
So we know that's
But-
not true.
Yeah, we
Because
have
of
other
the
signs
shrapnel.
of things going on there.
Killer throw something at the generator? Made it explode? Perhaps it's the fault of the taser gun? The electrical discharge it released might have connected with the generator and created an overabundance of energy, which caused everything in the circuit to pop. Probably.
There's no proof like the taser was involved.
No, that's
go.
wrong.
Unfortunately,
There we go.
I have to disagree.
Nailed it.
You say nothing but the taser could have been involved in the murder. But there's one possibility you didn't consider. The shrapnel in the water.
You mean those bits of red metal which were floating around?
Right. The ones that look like the aftermath of an explosion. Due to their proximity to the generator, it's safe to assume the two are connected.
Can't that just be debris left by the generator?
Except this debris is a completely different color. It lacks the rust the generator has accumulated. We're
true.
obviously looking at the remnants of something else, which means an object we haven't yet identified was caught in the explosion.
And floating near it was another out-of-place item.
My cord? Is my cord gonna come into play? Or no?
You can always give it a shot.
This is it.
Oh, thank God.
Look at you go. Falling back in place for you.
Extension cord, half of which had been burnt away.
Huh? Did the cord get caught in the explosion?
Seems that cord has the misfortune of floating around the wrong place at the wrong time.
From what I saw in my investigation, the building's extension cord supply seems to be kept inside storage closet D.
Welcome back, Doc.
Welcome back.
So in a way, yeah, it was definitely in the wrong place.
Storage closet D, huh? It was hard to make out much of it in the dark. And after the power came on, Kai came screaming for us to leave our closets. But I do recall seeing some extension cords peeking out from behind a shelf.
Since we already know the killer raided one storage closet, anyone else willing to bet they raided this one too?
The hell did they need an extension cord for?
Probably something involving the generator, given its proximity to the cord.
This seems so fucking elaborate. Like, I already know it's not Jet. It's not Kai. Those two, they're just, I'm sorry, but they're pure-hearted. They can't. And that's
You can
just
say they're dumb.
That's just
okay.
a fancy word for saying dumb. Yeah, but
saying politely calling them dumb.
I love them. They're my sons. But I don't think they could finagle with a generator and metal and an extension cord to make it blow up.
Same thing with the red bits.
Same thing with Cassidy, my
Even though
girl.
we don't know what they are.
Right. The red shrapnel. It definitely isn't debris left by the generator, so what exactly is it? So far, nothing in the boiler room can be directly tied to the shrapnel. At least not any of the clues that have already been discussed in this trial.
Oh? Is there something we haven't discussed yet?
If I were to flip my thinking and consider the clues we haven't discussed yet, there's no proof what I have in mind is related to the shrapnel, but when all their options are ruled out, I can only turn towards the one that hasn't. The one thing the mysterious shrapnel might be related to.
Ooh, we did that. We did not talk about this yet, have we?
Nope.
This one?
This is it.
Look at you go!
Yay!
The smell!
Hold that thought. We may be able to identify the shrapnel using context clues. During the investigation, there was a strange smell permeating the boiler room. It took me a moment to notice, but when I did, well, the best way to describe the scent would be if you mix cereal and alcohol together.
Cereal and alcohol? Talk about specific.
Tis a sign a chemical reaction was at play.
Wait, you recognize the smell?
Chemical reactions can produce some pretty pungent odors. Usually something to the tune of alcohol mixed with cereal, or fruits, or eggs. I noticed the smell going into the investigation, but it had completely slipped my mind until now.
Could it be a chemical reaction was caused by the taser?
The gun never touched the water. There's no reason for it to be the source of the smell.
What about the generator?
Considering the state of it, that generator would smell more burnt than anything else.
If the chemical reaction can't be explained by what we already know, like the generator or the taser gun, we need to consider the possibility.
Yeah, where the heck did the smell come from if it wasn't from the generator or the taser gun?
Yeah?
Oh, thank you guys. Stop it. You're gonna make me blush. I'm only doing good because Evan's here.
Hey, don't put this on me. You're doing great yourself.
That the explanation is the one piece of evidence still evading us. The shrapnel.
The shrapnel cause this the
Can
smell?
someone translate this into less complicated talk?
Yes, please.
It was just a long-winded way of saying he's using process of elimination.
I know it sounds like a stretch, but if you follow this line of reasoning, a lot more questions start getting answered.
Oh, you know, the more Damon talks, the more the killer is fucking sweating.
Think about it. If the smell and shrapnel are linked, then whatever object the shrapnel belongs to must contain chemicals.
So we're looking for a metal object, which is also packed with chemicals?
Oh, so the shrapnel was like a container or something? That like held chemicals?
Surely something like that would be kept inside the pharmacy.
Looking at my notes. When we originally visited the pharmacy, I recorded everything I saw. A bright red metal object would have definitely caught my eye, but I don't see one written here.
I got lots of metallic objects in the dorm room, but nothing chemical. Just big old slabs of metal.
She just got big old slabs of metal in her dorm room. I know she's a blacksmith, but damn, they gave her everything in there.
Yep.
They give her a freaking forge too? Like shit.
Big old slabs of metal. Why does that sound so familiar? Hold on. That's right.
Oh, Allie, look. There's Tozu without his head. He's there. This is robes.
We got a little bit of forearm. What Ingrid said just now is similar to what she said the night everyone began bunking together.
I guess this would explain my room too. It's littered with all sorts of fancy tools and metals.
And people are talking about their dorm rooms being themed around their talents. Could the shrapnel actually be the remnants of the unique device that guy boasted about having in his room?
I got my little confused face on. What the hell are they talking about? What?
The only way to know for sure is to put you on the spot.
Who? I do not remember.
Okay,
it's a guy.
So
we already tried to blame Desmond, so I don't think it's him, right?
not Desmond. I'll help you with that.
It's not Mark. He only has like music equipment, right?
Hear ya.
Wow, really? They really put him there?
Got you. Nah, man.
Ulysses is a fucking nerd. He won't have anything like that. I say with love. I love you, Ulysses. No, they're not gonna blame Jet, right? He has like car shit. Right? Could that be something?
They were talking about
Or John. I don't know.
They were talking about the kind of chemicals that could make a smell like that. And there was a whole discussion about a very specific kind of item that this discussion centered around.
You know my memory. I do not remember.
Lithium batteries.
Oh, okay, it is Jet.
Yep.
So, okay. No, he didn't fucking do it. This is stupid, Damon. No.
It has to be. It's not about who did it. It's about trying to put the pieces together.
I need to ask you something. Someone snuck into his room or something.
What's up?
Oh, buddy. He's like, oh, what's up?
What's up, dude?
Can you tell me what's inside your dorm room?
Like a full-on list?
Car bed.
Sure thing. I got a pretty gnarly collection of parts and accessories. Blind spot mirrors, lithium batteries, wheels, spare brakes, you name it. Oh, I even have the legendary mantle from the 1984's Grand Prix winning speedster.
I love him.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
Cool. The final part? So, why'd you want to know? Unless...
Oh.
I'm not being suspected, am I? No. Don't try to rope me into this, bro. I've got nothing to do with the murder.
I know you don't. You have an alibi. The only reason I ask is because that mysterious red shrapnel may be the remnants of one of your lithium batteries.
What?
I see. A lithium battery might explain the smell in the air.
And lithium? That's an explosive substance. If it made contact with water, gosh, you'd be left with a mess and a half.
Wouldn't someone have heard an explosion, though?
I did.
Really?
During the tournament, right before we lost power.
Oi, that's right. There was a boom.
Wait! I remember hearing it too!
I initially assumed the generator made the noise somehow. But if Jet's car batteries contain an explosive substance...
Hey, Jet, were your batteries bright red at all?
Maybe?
You don't know for sure?
I never took the batteries out of their packaging. The packaging isn't red, I can tell you that, but the actual batteries? Yeah, I got nothing.
So it can't be proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
Pretty much.
Well, what's the reaction time of a lithium battery?
The reaction time?
When a lithium battery hits the water, how long does it take to combust? I think, once we know that, we can decide whether or not the battery is relevant to the case.
A lithium battery would be an almost instantaneous reaction, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Lithium isn't a metal I've worked with, but it got beat into my head never to mix it with substances it doesn't like. All that electricity, the battery would have let out when it hit the water. It must have went straight into poor Wolfie.
There's warning labels on the battery for a reason.
Okay. If the reaction is instantaneous, then the battery would have entered the water only seconds before the generator exploded. That's really weird.
Is it?
According to Diana's testimony, when the explosion happened, she was still holding the taser gun. In which case, who threw the battery into the water?
Huh?
Huh. Good point. We can rule out Wolfgang, since the Blackens can only be a student who kills another student. And Diana.
It was only Diana and Wolfgang in the boiler room, so unless Diana herself was the one to throw the battery...
Hey, Evan, I have a question.
I have an answer?
So was it, like, proven that, like, the generator did explode?
I believe so. I'm trying to remember if it was stated that the generator exploded or that it was damaged from an explosion.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Yeah. In all honesty, I do not fully remember 100%.
Okay.
But there was an explosion.
Yes. But we're not for sure if it was...
Yeah, we're not sure. There was an explosion and it did damage the generator. I cannot say if the explosion was the generator. I do not remember.
Okay.
Then the battery can't play a part in the murder.
I didn't throw the battery. I promise.
The shrapnel and generator are too close for comfort. They must be correlated. I'll admit that Diana throwing the battery is a possibility, but that's all it is. A possibility. There may still be another way for the battery to enter the water, and until I've ruled that out, I won't settle for a culprit just yet.
I am stumped. Shrapnel, taser gun, extension cord, generator.
If the battery is related to the case, only Diana could have thrown it in the water.
But
My arm had been cut. Lifting a battery would hurt too much.
Neo batteries are pretty lightweight, though.
The battery clearly couldn't have fallen from somewhere, so it must have been submerged another way. Perhaps something akin to what Eva described?
If that battery is the murder weapon, why is there a taser gun?
Maybe it's a red herring.
Judging by the shrapnel, the battery would have landed in the water, a few inches from the generator.
Not the hardest shot to make.
Everybody is quick to say the battery was thrown, but when I consider the boiler room and which objects the killer could have leveraged, what that person considers impossible starts to sound anything but.
Crap. Who is he referencing? Fuck. But that person considers impossible. Starts to sound anything but. Oh shit. Shit. I am stumped on this. See, literally, like, I'm thinking, like, it sounds like dumb, but I'm like, what if someone fucking, like, strapped the battery to the generator, somehow rigged the generator to explode, and that caused the fucking battery to, like, fly into the water? And, like, the explosions just, like, fucking sound like... Does the lithium battery explode when it hits water? That's what they said, right? Or is it just, like,
on game logic, I assume. I wouldn't know personally, but... As they're all saying, that is a fact, yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to help guide you?
Yes, I am stumped.
Alright,
'Cause, like,
so... Toshiko said that the battery couldn't have fallen from anywhere.
Uh-huh.
But the generator does have a top part to it. Kind of like a shelf of sorts, like a little sitting place up top, a resting place up top. This is a tough one, but you'll use the generator when Toshiko says that the battery couldn't have fallen.
Oh, so the battery was on the generator.
Yes.
And it presumably
If
fell.
the battery is related to the case, only Diana could have thrown it in the water.
But my arm had been cut.
Neo batteries are pretty lightweight, though.
The battery clearly couldn't have fallen.
There you go.
No, that's wrong!
What is wrong?
No. The battery might actually have fallen from the generator.
Huh.
What makes you say that?
The shrapnel's position in front of the generator suggests there's a correlation between the two. However, it's unlikely Diana threw the battery at the generator. Not only is the boiler room difficult to see in, the generator is positioned far enough from the concrete platform
How did it fall in, though, without being
that Diana, with her wounded arm, would need to stand on the platform's edge to make the shot, which would obviously put her in danger of being attacked by Wolfgang again.
Yeah. Wolfgang was really close. He could reach over to me if he wanted.
If the battery hadn't been thrown, the only other possibility is that it fell down into the water. And considering the layout of the boiler room, what else could the battery fall off of? Except the generator.
Are you saying the battery was sitting on top of the generator?
Not on top, but maybe...
Oh. Suspended, leaning, teetering. I'm gonna guess teetering, because that makes the only sense as to how a battery could be moved and fallen.
Imagine a domino tile teetering over the edge of a table. If you were to press down on the part which is sticking out, the entire tile would tip over and fall onto the floor, right? What if the killer applied the same physics to the battery? They could position the battery so it was teetering over the generator, and then, from the safety of the concrete platform, use a long instrument to tip it over.
That long instrument being?
I have no idea. Not quite it.
That wasn't it? What?
That
How
was
the
not.
hell?
That was not the right answer. Because to help get the guide for this answer, you want to think about, as you were wondering before, what would make something happen.
Yeah.
You know, why would something react? What are the ways that it's possible? And it could be possible if someone used some kind of tool to suspend it over the generator. There you go.
This is fucking crazy.
I got it.
Whoever did this is a psychopath.
It's crazy.
The battery may have been suspended over the generator.
Suspended over.
They're suspended by something, then the presence of that item starts to make a lot more sense.
Oh, the extension cord.
Bada bing, bada boom. You're catching on.
Huh.
This is it. The killer could have tied the extension cord around the battery and slung the battery over the generator. If the cord and battery were tied together at the time of the generator's explosion, it would explain why half of the cord had been burned away.
The more you explain it, the more unbelievable it sounds.
So he's saying that someone tied the battery to the generator, and the generator exploded, causing the battery to fall into the water.
So it was, everyone's talking about it. It was confirmed and noted by Ulysses that the generator did not explode. It was simply charred.
Oh,
but it did not
Damon
explode.
just said that it exploded.
I think you're saying the battery exploded.
Oh, I could have sworn he said when the generator exploded. Okay.
It's getting convoluted.
Yeah.
Maybe the killer chose a crazy method because no one would believe it.
I don't see how weaving a cord into the mix is any more beneficial than leaving it out. If anything, the cord adds extra weight.
Which would be especially inconvenient for Diana, because her arm is bleeding.
Right. It wouldn't benefit Diana to hold the cord. So, what if she didn't? Something else may have been supporting the cord instead.
Something like... what was holding the cord?
Wolfgang? A third person? The cord wasn't involved, and the object was holding the cord. It's definitely not this. It's not that. They were the only two people in the room. It wasn't Wolfgang. An object?
I got it. Throughout this trial, we've assumed the killer held the battery in some form or another. If the battery was on its own, the killer tossed it in. If the battery was wrapped with a cord, the killer held the other end of the cord. But in the same way something else can hold the battery, can't something else also hold the cord?
Ugh, my head's starting to spin.
Same, Ingrid. Same.
Are you talking about something which could keep the cord in place?
Something to keep the cord in place. If I imagine the cord and the battery it's tied around in front of the generator, in the same spot where the shrapnel is surfaced. So where would the cord have been tied to?
What the fuck?
You're trying to pinpoint the area of the room that the cord would have been tied to.
Okay, so the shrapnel was like over here, right?
Yeah.
And there's the generator. They're saying it was hanging above the generator?
Yeah.
Hell, I don't know. The fucking roof?
You're close.
This is it. The killer tied the cord to the vent.
Oh, the vent.
Yep. You're close enough. You got that.
Close enough.
Wasn't what you're going for, but it was perfect.
What vent?
The one above the generator. It connects the boiler room and the dining hall.
There's a vent above the generator?
You should remember some light shining into the boiler room. That's where the vent is. The vent itself is set a bit far back into the wall. So, you probably assumed the spot was a small window or something.
If the boiler room and the dining hall are separated by one vent, does this make the wallpaper thin, or...?
Yeah, and that's why they heard the explosion. Boiler room and the dining hall are separated by one vent. The boiler room and the dining hall are connected by the vent, and we're saying that the extension cord went into the vent. Wait, the explosion went off at 9:35, right? That's when Wolfgang
Yes.
died?
Yeah, Wolfgang got the same time the power went out.
I'm thinking something, but I don't know if it sounds stupid.
There's two vents.
Hey, that's never stopped me
Boiler
from
room
saying
vent
anything before.
And the dining hall vent. Both are connected via a small ventilation shaft.
I'm thinking that like someone, I know that we were saying they had like alibis and stuff, but like someone from the tournament, if we're saying that the cord went through the vent and it leads to the freaking dining hall, that's where the video game tournament was, right?
That's true, yeah. That's the video game tournament was there.
So did someone from the freaking tournament like kill his ass?
Maybe. You keep cooking, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
You know what?
keep pushing through.
I've been having to pee for a long time, so I'm gonna go too. I'll be right back.
Okay, perfect. We'll let everyone talk, stew about it. Alright. I'm back. Am I alone? I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. My problems have all gone. There's no one to ever.
Oh, hello. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of
They were
a lot of
dancing.
emotes. With dancing.
They were dancing.
Alrighty, let me get a sip of water.
Heck yeah.
Alright. This leads to a whole new list of suspects. If this is proven true. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Alright. It's not Jet, I know it's not him.
Close look at the boiler room vent after Ava and I woke up, which is why I know these details.
How close is close for someone under 6 foot?
Ava helped me reach the vent,
By?
letting me sit on her shoulders.
He's so embarrassed. Oh, that's funny.
Quite the visual.
Don't rub it in.
Aww.
Anyway, if the killer tied one end of the cord to the vent and the other end around the battery, they could suspend the battery over the generator.
Something like that would result in an explosion.
What do you mean?
You say the killer tied one end of the cord to the vent and the other end to the battery. However, indoor extension cords are much longer than regular cords. They can be upwards of 9 or more meters in length, as opposed to the average cord's 2 meters. 9 meters is significantly longer than the distance between the vent and the boiler room floor. If the killer wanted to tie the battery to the cord's other end, they would be tying it to something which is already submerged in water.
I see. It is an impossible setup.
Not necessarily. The killer can have greatly reduced the length of the cord by doing that. How did the killer just length the cord?
Oh, just by cutting it?
Cut
Oh,
the
no.
cord using
Shit.
what exactly?
You're good.
Wait, by doing what?
We'll figure it out.
Scissors? That's what anyone would use, right?
And where exactly did these scissors come from?
Could have been the storage closets. They're packed with tons of stuff, so...
Well, I've been through those closets twice now, and I never saw scissors.
Not even pliers?
I didn't see pliers either.
Could the cord have been cut with Wolfie's knife?
You believe the victim set up the murder trap?
Oh.
So this whole thing was
Oh my
a
god.
suicide mission?
No.
That's definitely not the case.
Oh, it's not that, so I guess wrapping the cord around the battery.
Got it.
Yeah, like when you put one away, you just gotta reel that bad
The
boy up.
extension cord is pretty thin and flimsy. If the killer wanted the battery to be secure, they need to wrap a lot of cord around it.
Oh,
Probably to
okay.
the point there wouldn't be much spare cord remaining. Which is a good thing, because this spare cord is what the battery will be suspended by. So long as the spare cord isn't too long, the battery will sit safely above the water.
So much effort.
Agreed. How do you even submerge the battery into the water under those circumstances?
How? Simple. By adjusting the cord's position. All the killer would need to utilize is a certain aspect of the boiler room.
By adjusting its position? I mean, okay, wait. Obviously they weren't in there, so they would have had to do it from inside the vent if it was tied to the vent.
You're onto something.
This is it. Like I mentioned earlier, I gave the vent a close look after originally waking up in the boiler room.
It was someone from the fucking tournament. What the hell?
Part of my inspection included opening the vent.
But how? How did no
to
one...
get a better look at the other side.
How did no one see them?
The vent can be opened?
Not all the way, but far enough for the vent to cause a domino effect if then closed. In our case, a domino effect involving the extension cord tied to it. If we assume the vent must be open for the battery to remain a safe distance above the water, we end up with a pulley system. To prevent the battery from entering the water, the vent is literally pulling the entire cord backwards. Ergo, it's not just the killer's own measurements keeping the battery in place, but the vent itself. Having opened one of these vents before, I can tell you how tough they are to move.
I put my finger on the grate directly in front of me. I pulled as hard as I could.
A lightweight battery definitely isn't heavy enough to pull one shut. It takes an actual person to close one, which is great for the killer, because it means they get to maintain full control over when the battery enters the water.
They crawled into the vent and pushed it closed to drop the battery.
If they close the vent, the cord should slide forward and submerge the battery into the water. When that happens, the boiler room water becomes electrified by the battery's components, which in turn causes electricity to pass directly into the body of Wolfgang, who is standing in the water.
Exactly which vent is the cord being tied to?
The boiler room vent.
Oh, CFS, thank you for the follow. Thank you, welcome in.
Funny. Earlier, you said there's a small vent shaft connecting the boiler room vent to the dining hall vent. Assuming the killer is operating this trap from outside the boiler room, since we know there were only ever 2 people in that room, how would they even be able to reach the boiler room vent? Like you said, there's a separate vent in front of it.
Huh? She has a point. I've been assuming the cord is tied to the boiler room vent. But I fail to consider the ventilation shaft. It becomes considerably harder to reach the boiler room vent if you have to reach down that shaft first.
Oh.
Not just that, I never tested to see if the boiler room vent can open inwards. I only got it to open outwards. By that logic, I've been on the opposite side of the shaft.
This could only mean one thing. The killer never tied the cord to the boiler room vent. They tied the cord to the dining hall vent.
Uh-huh.
That just creates the same problem as before, but reversed. Instead of the dining hall vent making it hard to close the boiler room vent, it's the boiler room vent making it hard to reach the dining hall vent.
While the vents may seem like an obstruction, especially since they can't be opened all the way. There's a very easy workaround. All the killer needs to do is fit the extension cord between the grates of the boiler room vent.
Oh yeah, the grates. You mentioned something about them earlier. Right. When you described opening the boiler room vent.
With my fingers on the grate directly in front of me, I pulled as hard as I could.
If you can fit your fingers between the grates, there's no damn way you can't fit a cord.
Exactly. After which, you could slide the cord through the ventilation shaft and out the opposite end for the killer to then go and tie to the...
Actually...
Bro just actually do.
He really did.
Hello?
Oh, he's so cute though.
What is it now?
There's something I still don't understand about your theory. It's to do with the logistics of the cord.
The logistics?
Its size.
We're back to discussing this again. Never mind, I'll find a way to combat this argument just like I've done countless times already.
Ah, shit, here we go again.
Yep, your favorite.
I understand the boiler room vent can be opened. Maybe not all the way, but enough to fit an extension cord through. What's bothering me, however, is that the boiler room vent was closed during the investigation, which means it must have been closed during the murder.
I don't see a problem here. The killer doesn't even need to open that vent, because they could simply slide the cord between the grates.
Indoor extension cords may be thin, but the plugs on either side of them aren't.
Shit, that one.
Through those words. You're so good. You're locked in. You're fucking cooking.
I was like, hold on. The fucking plugs. I already had that shit in my head, but I was like, wait.
First,
yeah,
it's possible to fit the cord through. You just need to start with the internal plug. The cords in storage closet D have a slim internal end. This can easily be slid through the gaps in the vent. Once the killer ties the cord around the dining hall vent, presumably with a knot, the cord won't be at risk of sliding back out either.
I see. When put like that, whether or not the boiler room vent was closed isn't really relevant.
How'd you figure all this out from some shrapnel and an extension cord? This is crazy.
Kai.
All of us right now.
For real.
At the same time, what he's describing sounds plausible.
Since the battery was suspended over the generator, it's no surprise the machine ended up the way it did. Fortunately for Diana, she was safe by virtue of remaining on the platform. I imagine that was also the killer's intention.
The killer kept her on the platform?
They must have known they were injecting Wolfgang with a hallucinogenic. So, it's possible they hoped his behavior would scare Diana off from entering the water. Although, even if Diana did die, the moment people realized only she and Wolfgang entered the boiler room, they'd probably call the whole thing a murder gone wrong.
Well, all of this certainly changes things.
Huh?
If the killer is someone who needed access to the vent and needed to be operating from the dining hall, then everyone who attended the tournament is a suspect.
Boom!
Alright, hold on.
Alright.
Who all was there? Fucking...
Who all was there?
John? Kai?
Yep.
Grace?
Yep. Yep.
Damon, obviously.
Yep.
John, Kai... Damon, Grace... Who the...
Cassidy.
Oh yeah, duh, Cassidy.
Jet.
Jet. Not Jet.
Mark, the DJ.
Mark. Shit, I need to write this down. Hold on.
Oh boy. All right, here we go. Let her cook.
Hold on.
All right. Let's think it all through.
All right.
There were a lot of faces in there.
Damon, Kai,
Damon, Kai,
John,
yep,
Grace,
Jet,
Mark Broski. That fucking bitch. Eva was there.
Yes, she was. I was gonna say that was the one name that you were missing from your previous one, and Cassidy was there. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
Cassidy.
think you said Cassidy
I
yet,
didn't write her down, but
yeah.
no, homegirl's too dumb to pull this off. It's fucking Eva. I'm calling it. It's fucking Eva.
Oh
I know I
God.
didn't trust that bitch.
Oh man. One of the tournament attendees is the killer? Damn it, how did I not realize sooner? The fact the killer could even access the vent means they must have been in the dining hall at the time of Wolfgang's murder.
Yeah, there's. Oh, I'm like, I'm shaking now. There's no fucking way. There is no.
Oh boy.
It's definitely not Cassidy. It's definitely not Jet. I'm marking their names off. There's no fuck. It's not Damon, obviously. We're Damon.
Oh man.
Grace has no reason to fucking kill Wolfgang. That was like her fucking boyfriend. Mark, I don't know. He's
A
just
lover's
Mark.
quarrel.
I don't think. I think he's just Mark.
Oh man.
Kai, we were with Kai. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
you two were the ones playing the game at the time.
yeah, we were literally playing the game. Eva, I don't even think Eva was on the cute ass picture. Where they were all playing and they were like watching over the couch. I don't think she was even in that fucking
So we
picture.
can reduce it down to 8 people.
And she had a reason to
Damon,
kill
Kai,
Wolfgang too.
Grace,
Okay, here's your
Eva,
list.
Cassidy,
Oh, there's my
Jet,
list.
Mark, and
We just had to go one more. Your brain was we're going too fast. I do the same shit. I'll get immediately answered by the game after spent 5 minutes wondering something.
It was probably Cassidy. She set the whole thing up.
Bro, no, Cassidy is.
Hey,
no.
I was only trying to improve the mood.
It wasn't me. I was playing a game with Damon when the lights went out.
I had to play music.
Me too.
Girl.
You never touched my equipment.
I meant I was watching Kai and Damon play.
I
No,
was
you weren't,
spectating
bitch.
as well.
Me too.
Me 3. And Cass 2, I think? I was too focused on the game to remember who was or wasn't there.
If everyone's telling the truth, then all 8 of y'all were crowded round the same spot?
Or was she in the picture? I
Or the
literally
red
don't
wall
remember.
Where the TV was set up. It's also the furthest wall from the vent.
Seems like someone is lying again.
The tournament participants who flipped the vent. I can deduce who that person is by determining everyone's positions directly before the blackout.
Oh, Allie, thank you for the bit of obligatory Kaiman cheer.
Let's go.
Gay.
Gate. Problem is, I myself been totally preoccupied with the game. I never got a good look at the actual people around me. Never got a good look. Wait, is that it? While I never got a good look at the others, I can still deduce their general positions. And if they were near me, from whether or not I heard them. Think, Damon, think. Who and what did I hear back then? Or who or what did you not hear?
Mm-hmm.
It was you.
She didn't say a word.
The only person I never heard was you.
Oh. Fucking clicking, bitch. Where is she?
Going
Wait,
so
there she
fast.
is.
Never seen you so confident before in your life. It has to be
I fucking knew! I didn't trust this
Let's
bitch
go.
from the fucking start.
Also,
Oh
Gokurono, I can tell you that Gokurono said that Ava was in the picture. We were playing through this chapter earlier. Ava is not in the picture.
Oh my
You
god.
see everyone except Ava. It's an interesting fact that you don't really think about until after you you have to go through all this. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? Was she? And it's like, nope.
Because I stayed on that
Nothing
picture
there.
for so long because it was so cute. And I think that's when we
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
bathroom break too. I think that was when like, wasn't that
That's
when
when
like
I went to the
when you went to
bathroom.
the bathroom and Allie joined in,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, they're so cute.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking
The killer is Ava.
die, bitch.
Huh?
Ava's the only one whose position I can't account for. Mark was mixing a track at the time Kai and I were playing a game, so I know he must have been stationed at his pad. And everyone else? I remember hearing their voices over the sound of the game. Everyone, except Ava. In fact, last I saw her, she was standing in the corner of the room with a vent.
Holy shit.
Oops. Playing a little fucking Game Boy.
Oh man! And the reason no one heard it is because the music was too loud!
Hey, don't blame Mark.
Damn.
I was just doing what I was told.
Oh, buddy.
No one's blaming you. We're all in on Eva.
Care to contribute anything, Eva?
That was why she was going for fucking Diana the entire time. Just trying to freaking pin the blame on her. And she framed her ass because she knew she was so sweet.
I didn't flip.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
They were roommates. But not in a good way.
Well, Damon says you did.
Damon says a lot of things.
Hey.
What a comeback.
While you aren't technically wrong, I don't think that counts as an argument.
His theory is full of plot holes. He just refuses to point them out.
What plot holes?
The cord.
What?
In retrospect, you were so quick to accuse me that you overlooked a huge problem with the cord. If I'm the killer, how did I dispose of it?
Trick question. You left the cord tied to the vent.
What then? It unraveled by itself and fell into the water?
Yeah, you got me there.
How did Ava get rid of the cord? I'm sure it's possible if she knew to untie it at the right time.
Oh, when it was dark.
I got it.
Because they all bent down to like
Dispose
listen
of the cord.
through there after.
You just untied it
Or
during
at
the
some
blackout.
point, right?
Yeah.
She untied the knot during a blackout?
Being the one who set up the trap, Ava could have easily practiced untying the knot in advance. Or she just made it a really simple knot. Either way, it wouldn't be any more difficult than untying your shoelaces with your eyes closed.
If Ava untied the cord, did it also fall into the water?
Diana's testimony says as much.
It does?
During your confrontation with Wolfgang, you recounted hearing certain sounds.
I'm not like you. I'll never be like you. I won't give up. Not until the world knows. I won't give up. Until I'm known as... Just because you wanted to watch your boy die like a fourth time.
I hate this so much. All of a sudden, everything turned white. Everything in front of me, except Wolfgang. In those few seconds, he became pitch black. And then, so did everything else. Oh, the plopping!
A little plop of a cord, a little plop, a little ploppage.
The first sound was obviously the battery exploding. second. When you first recounted the story, you said it was the sound of the knife hitting the water. But why would a thin knife make such a big splash?
Then, do you think...
What really caused that sound was probably the extension cord falling into the water.
When you say it that way, it does seem likelier.
I should have known. Nikita lied about her talents and tried to lie about the Tozer trinkets. I should have known.
Guys, remember when I said that it would be too obvious if Eva was the killer? So I thought she'd be the first victim?
That was a classic thing you did say.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Her stupid lying ass. Girl.
I should have known. Only Eva fucking
Yes, Queen. Go off, Grace.
Wolfgang!
Go off.
You're right that Eva's lied to us several times already.
But she's just a mathlete. How did someone like her come up with something this complicated?
Calculations, dear Watson.
Give her the upper hand in all that measurement nonsense.
Even so, the sheer volume of items Eva had to steal. She's been under heavy suspicion these past few days. How did she sneak into Jet and Desmond's rooms without being noticed?
Honestly, girl is sneaky.
It's impossible. Wolfgang even got mad at me for being late to the dining hall by a few minutes. I've been watched the entire time I've been here. There's no way Jet wouldn't have noticed me taking his battery.
Right on. No one steals from me.
Jet.
They already
Except someone did.
Mark.
And anyway, how could I enter the core through the boiler room vent when I can't even reach the top of the generator? If anything, you should be suspicious of the taller students.
I understand when people are doubtful, but I can't let the conversation continue like this. Eva did, in fact, have a way to reach the vent. All she had to use... I will tell you, this one got Allie and I for a while.
Oh, I kind of got it right away. It's the boxes, right?
Not those.
No, not the boxes? Shit. Because they literally look like fucking stairs leading up here.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Trust me, that was the first thing I did,
It's
and
not
I got
the
told no, I
boxes?
was wrong. It's not that. It's no.
Then what the hell? How can they get up here? Not climbing up this thing. I felt so confident too. What the hell?
That was me. I did 5 seconds, and I got told, no, you're an idiot. So, to go ahead and help you save some time, you're not entirely wrong. Chinny's did a great point. You're very close. It's boxes, but it's not those boxes. It's the ones specifically... Oh, yes, those boxes down there. Yeah, if you press the wrong boxes, the game yells at you. Yeah, trust me.
They're so low.
To reach the top of the generator, you simply stood on one of the boxes in the boiler room.
But specific boxes. Trust me,
Just
I was
very
mad.
specific boxes.
I was mad here. I was mad here.
There's already a huge pile of them near the generator itself. You could easily push one up against the machine.
A huge pile? So not the one that
No,
is
it was
right
like
there.
the boxes are like, it was like, because the boxes are too far away because there's a gap there, I guess, perspective and all
I
that
see.
mumbo jumbo. Yeah.
Interesting.
She would have known about those boxes in advance, too, since she explored the boiler room with you ahead of time.
Okay, I could have used the boxes to reach the top of the generator. And I could have fit the cord through both vents if I inserted the right plug. I can do both of those things without attracting suspicion. What I can't do without attracting suspicion is opening the vent.
Which vent are we talking about?
The dining hall one. Based on what Damon's saying, it needs to be opened for the killer's trap to work. But opening it during the tournament is asking to be caught, and opening it before the tournament is useless because Jet, Cassidy, and Mark would see it while setting up.
Oh. Oh yeah, you're right. If there was an open vent with a cord tied to it, I would have noticed for sure.
Now that Eva
For
mentions
sure.
it, I'm pretty sure the vent was closed during setup.
The vent was closed?
See, there's no way I can execute this trap without being caught. It's a stupid trap anyway. All the cord and vent stuff is too complicated. There's a billion ways it could go wrong. Damon's just making stuff up. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
What the? That's bullshit.
Can it, you four-eyed troll! You can't talk your way out of this one!
Great.
Come on, Grace.
Go off, Queen.
Shit.
The only person who would be sick-minded enough to kill Wolfgang is you and only you!
Out for blood.
Yes, Queen.
Don't you fucking try and tell me otherwise!
Oh shit. Oh. Short closet shrapnel game tournament timeline extension cord.
You can't say I'm the murderer just because I sat near a vent.
It seems to be pretty good evidence to me.
Wolfgang exposed you for the snake you are, and you despised him because of it. You have a motive!
Perhaps our understanding of the mechanism is wrong? Maybe it wasn't closing the vent that triggered it, but something else?
Do you have any evidence to prove that?
Even if this trap was used, you can't guarantee it operated the way Damon described.
How so?
Well, the battery could have been tied to the extension cord, with a special knot which can untie by itself. After a bit of time passes...
There's even less evidence for that!
Evidence? No one here cares about evidence. I just happened to be at the game tournament, and now you're saying I'm a killer.
Oh boy. That's what you think, Thonkin.
Well, there's not very many things to contradict or agree with in this one.
Yeah.
But Eva saying that she was just happened to be at the game tournament. That's not. Didn't she sign up for it?
Not quite, because she didn't have a partner or anything.
I mean, she didn't just happen to be there though. Like she said she was gonna go. Like she was excited for it, right?
She was excited for it. There's another. Yes, she's excited for it, and there's another piece of it that could be forgotten about because this piece of information was from like 2 weeks ago, so you wouldn't think about it. You want me to tell you?
Yeah. What is it? I got no clue.
So, while Cassidy and Jet were hosting the tournament, and everyone was wondering what to do about it, Eva's the one who set up the time.
Ah, because she was the one who suggested it be in the morning.
She said at 9 a.m. because that's when the brain works the best.
Yep. Okay. So...
I believe you have the game tournament,
tournament
timeline as
time?
one of your bullets. Yeah.
Okay.
Focus on the facts. I just need to focus.
You can't say I'm the murderer just because I sat
And that's at like the
near a
very
vent.
end. That's like the next to last dot, if you want to
Gotcha.
fast forward through all that.
We'll do squeaky voices.
You can't guarantee it operated the way Damon described.
Still a few more.
How so?
Tied to the extension cord, with a special knot which can untie by itself. After a bit of time passes.
It's coming up.
No one here cares about evidence. I just happened
There it is.
to game tournament.
Boom, 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 boom.
Wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Got him.
Got him.
No. It's no coincidence you were at the game tournament. In fact, it's It's not even a coincidence the tournament took place during the murder.
What do you mean?
It was impossible for me to notice this earlier, but the killer timed the tournament so it would grant them an alibi for the murder.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. Are you accusing me of murder again? I thought you said Ava was the culprit.
Oh, Jet.
The detective isn't supposed to switch suspects in the last stretch like this. You're totally throwing the audience for a loop, and not in a good way.
Except neither of you played a role in determining what time the tournament would be held. The only person to determine that was Ava.
And oop!
When I was training my talent, I did most of my studying at 9 a.m.
Most of my studying at 9 a.m.
The brain is most active and ready to absorb information, killing, around this time. I think this effect could help our video game skills.
Or murdering skills.
Or murdering skills. A 9 a.m. tourney, huh? Wouldn't be the first time. Screw it, let's do 9 a.m., 1 hour after the morning announcement.
Ava knew she would be in the dining hall tomorrow, so when Cassidy announced the tournament, she realized it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to create an alibi for herself.
That's insane. How could she have come up with something like that on the spot?
It wasn't just for an alibi either. Since Ava knew about the tournament, she could time the setup of her trap accordingly.
So to answer a question of when neither Cassidy, Jet, nor Mark noticed the open vents, when I think back on what Cassidy told me earlier today before the tournament began, I can discern exactly when Eva opened the vent.
When did Eva open the dining hall vent? After stacking the furniture?
This is one of those things that require that
Oh,
like
God.
needs you to think back on knowledge again, because where Eva was sitting during the tournament was towards like the back side of the room behind everyone, which was the same side of the room that all of the furniture was stacked up against.
Okay, so it's right? My instinct was
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, after stacking the furniture, yeah. It's one of those like
I got it.
You didn't get evidence, you just have to literally think back to what
Yeah,
you
like,
knew
oh my God.
from forever ago.
Ava
So yeah.
approached you yesterday and asked to help set up the tournament. What exactly did she say?
Why did I tell you this again?
Before the tournament?
Oh, now I remember. Yeah, Eva wanted to see what sort of equipment the tournament needed. After I showed her Mark's stuff and told her we were redecorating the dining hall, she offered to help.
Back when this conversation happened, you still hadn't decided what time you were going to start redecorating, right?
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. Eva really helped me out, though. She said she would stack the dining hall furniture we weren't going to use later that night. Afterwards, we could focus purely on arranging the technical stuff in the morning.
All right. Then tell me what happened last night.
Jet, Mark, Eva, and I came to the dining hall at around 8:40 p.m. probably. We stacked the table and the dining chairs against the left wall, and the sofas we moved to the middle of the room, maybe a little more to the right. Then we all went back to our dorms. Well, I was kind of hungry, so I stayed back a few minutes before leaving.
Hold the phone. If those sofa chairs were moved to the middle of the room, why did I see one over in the corner this morning?
Because Eva pushed it there.
Eva what?
Mm-hmm.
She fucking
Grace.
what?
Part in the tournament. Just watch it from the side. That's what she told me.
Her Eva impression.
I never thought it was weird or anything. Some people just like sticking to the walls of rooms, you know?
We're talking about the sofa in the upper left corner, aye? The one next to the coffee table.
Yes, sir, Eva!
Yo, when the power went out, I'm pretty sure Damon ran over to that corner to look through. Yeah, a vent!
Did she move the chair there so it would be easier to reach the vent later?
Why would I when Cassidy just said the vent was closed during setup?
Because you were covering for yourself in advance.
Huh?
The vent may not have been open at the time, but I'm willing to bet that's because you were still creating your trap.
In what way?
Let's say Ava took a detour for the boiler room first, and slid the internal plug through both vents. After going upstairs and helping rearrange the dining hall furniture, during which she moves a sofa chair so it obscures the vent, she heads outside and hides until everyone else goes to bed. Then, she walks back in and opens the vent.
So Eva took complete advantage of them?
Not my fault those two are so trusting.
You think a big guy like me was gonna be afraid of some mathlete? No way!
I mean, she did lie about a lot of important things. Her talent being one of them.
She also cried and fled the scene after we found out, no?
I just thought it was cool. She wanted to help me out.
Aw, Cassidy.
Hey, can we backtrack a little? Like, to before all this Ava talk?
Why? What happened?
It's to do with the chair's position.
The chair?
You guys keep saying it was in front of the vent, but Damon stood in front of the vent during the blackout. If the chair was in the position you all say it was, it should have blocked him from crouching in front of the vent.
Ava probably just moved it during the blackout.
Eh?
Before the blackout, it was positioned with its back to the left wall. However, when I ran over to the vent, the chair was suddenly pushed up against the northern wall, out of the vent's range. Ava must have shifted the chair while everyone was initially panicking from the blackout. I'm guessing she hoped people would misremember its position and think it was always along the northern wall.
Oh man! So I totally fell for it?
Aw.
Yeah, you did.
I also remember seeing a speaker in that corner.
Yeah, about that. This morning, Jet, Mark, and I arrived at the dining hall a little after 8 a.m., then Eva came a few minutes later. She helped us put together Mark's equipment, which was stationed in the lower right corner of the room. And then she volunteered to place speakers around the room while Jet and I set up the TV next to the fireplace.
Moving a speaker near the vent. Did Eva do that to drown out Diana and Wolfgang's scuffle?
Yeah, and in turn exacerbate the effects of the other speakers. There were almost a dozen spread throughout the dining hall, some even sandwiched into corners they didn't need to be. Eva probably placed them that way to cover as much ground as possible.
Still, Eva entered the dining hall at 8:10 a.m., right? So wouldn't it be impossible for her to knock out Lawyer Man at 8:15 a.m.?
According to Ava, she arrived around 8:10 a.m., but it's possible she actually arrived much later. Since there's no clock in the dining hall, he just couldn't have known. In fact, that might be why Ava seemed so eager to arrange Mark's equipment in the morning. Upon realizing it had a clock, she wanted to ensure it would only be powered on after she arrived.
It seems the setup of this trap occurred across 3 phases. Phase 1 took place in the boiler room and involved tying a lithium battery to an extension cord. The cord was then slid through the grates of the closed boiler room vent, presumably until it almost poked out the other end of the ventilation shaft. Phase 2, by contrast, was carried out in the dining hall. The aforementioned cord was tied around the dining hall vent, which was then left open. This must have happened after Cassidy, Mark, and Jet were already done redecorating. For the third and final phase, the battery was carefully suspended over the generator. All these steps combined created a pulley system, which could only be triggered by closing the dining hall vent. Is there anything I'm missing?
Ulysses, you are such a king.
Let's go.
He is such a king.
Absolute unit.
The vent.
Huh?
No one has explained how I closed the dining hall vent.
Go with your hand.
For real, like what?
Obviously, I didn't do it during the blackout. According to Damon, the blackout can only happen after the vent is closed. So, I must have stood up, gone behind the chair, and closed the vent during the tournament.
Yeah, when they were all paying attention to the TV.
That's stupid. Someone is definitely going to notice that sort of conspicuous movement. It doesn't matter if that someone is on the opposite side of the room. They're going to notice.
How did he overlook such an obvious discrepancy?
He was right. Sending up would look really suspicious. Which is exactly why she used that to circumvent the problem.
The chair, right?
Yeah.
But she was just sitting there the whole time. Yep. She could just reach over and close the vent.
This is it. The location of your chair bypasses this problem entirely. To close the vent, all you need to do is set the chair to recline and reach behind you.
Set the chair to recline?
All the dining hall chairs have the ability to recline. Some were already set to that position at the start of the tournament, including Ava's. With her chair in recline, Ava can easily reach down and close the vent without shifting from her position. It's not perfectly inconspicuous, but it's subtle enough to not catch most people's attention, especially those focused on watching a video game competition. Well, am I wrong?
This isn't funny. Just because I was sitting in front of the vent doesn't mean I was the one who triggered the mechanism.
Girl.
No one can sneak up behind you without drawing attention, especially when all the lights were still on.
That's just dumb! Where I was sitting shouldn't make me a murderer!
Even so, with everything we've spoken about...
Everything? Did you already forget what was said earlier? Just look at all the items I would need to set up this murder. The battery, the extension cord, the rolling pin, the taser, the syringe, and the supposed drug used with it. How could I have collected all of those things?
Oh, Cinia, thank you for the follow. Thank you.
Wolfgang and everyone else hated me because I lied about my talent. They were on their guard whenever I was around. You think Jet and Desmond would just let me walk into their rooms and take their stuff?
That's true. We still haven't explained how she robbed two people's rooms without being caught.
Unless you can prove I had the chance to get all this stuff, you can't make me out to be the killer.
Fine. I'll show proof. Only you could obtain the items necessary for this murder.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, tell me, how did we obtain the items of the murder?
Eva asked nicely. Or she had a hunch. Well, we know she didn't have Damon's blackmail. So, this one.
I got it.
Yep, she had Desmond's blackmail. She told us about it.
Ava, you were well aware of the existence of those items. For starters, everyone heard about Jet's battery. It was common knowledge due to his boasting.
Wait, so it's all my fault?
Oh, buddy, no.
Since the dorms aren't locked, you could have easily snuck in and grabbed the battery while no one was inside. The battery is lightweight too, so you wouldn't have trouble carrying it. For the rest of your plan, the syringe and drugs are both readily available in the pharmacy. And as for the taser, you may not have known about its existence right away, but you still had every incentive to search Desmond's room, because you received his blackmail.
Eva? You knew my blackmail this whole time and never said anything?
So what?
Huh?
So what if I knew? I wasn't the only one. Damon knew your blackmail as well.
She gonna out him for having Wolfgangs?
Oh yeah, he read it out loud to everyone earlier, didn't he?
Damon knew almost everything I did. He knew where the items used in this murder were stored. He knew the layout of the boiler room and the storage closets. He knew all sorts of things. The only thing he didn't know is the one thing more important than any piece of physical evidence.
The hell are you talking about?
See, you still don't know. You still don't know that we never saw eye to eye.
Huh?
Eye to eye on the not killing each other stuff?
On Wolfgang.
Eh?
Damon saw the way Wolfgang scolded me and treated me like a bad guy, and he thought I hated him the same way he did. But unlike Damon, I never wanted Wolfgang to die.
Girl, what?
What
the fuck are you talking about, girl?
That's a loaded accusation.
Not a first for this trial.
If you thought you saw the worst of Damon after the dummy trial, you underestimate just how low he can stoop.
Girl.
I practically risked my life pretending to be his ally. But in return, he let me see the extent of his deceitfulness. Which is why I can tell everyone that Damon has Wolfgang's blackmail.
Jeez. Oh, shit.
Oh, gosh.
You.
He mad as fuck. Dude, oh my god. I knew this would come back and bite him in the ass.
Any reason you didn't tell us this earlier?
Well, I didn't think it was incriminating at first.
Not even when he refused to come forward about it?
That was weird, but I didn't want to make accusations at the time because it could have just been his ego talking. Only after watching him reject the taser gun over this dumb mechanism he made up did I realize I had potential evidence on my hands.
Damon, do you have your blackmail on you? Don't worry about reading it out loud or anything. Just show the image. That's all you gotta do.
Fuck. Did Eva really never trust me? Why then did she disclose so much to me? Why did she tell me? Her tragic backstory.
It's because I trust you.
Lie! Okay. No, this can't be at the forefront of my mind right now. I'm on the cusp of bringing this case to a close. What Eva thinks about me shouldn't matter. What she thinks about me.
You took my side way back at the beginning, remember? We were the only people who refused to listen to that lawyer, and you helped solve the mystery behind the whole case. No one thanked you, though. I'm really sorry about how things turned out. The other students would have treated you unfairly if it wasn't for me.
Damn it! This entire time I've been judging the others for how trusting they are, not even realizing I was blindly following the words of a stranger. And now everyone here, they're gonna hold this blackmail crap against me, even when if I just come forward earlier. Even so, what choice do I have? No one will let the discussion continue unless I tell the truth.
Fine. I'll show it. But only the picture. As requested.
With those words, I retrieved the envelope from my pocket and pulled out the photo.
He's married?
Ingrid, Wolfgang doesn't have blue eyes.
So, who is this then? His parents?
I mean, why else would the guy look like him?
Given the year this photo was taken, these two people must be his parents. Look at what's printed at the bottom. April 17th, 2001. We know how old Wolfgang is because of the student reports. In 2001, he wasn't even born yet.
But why his parents? Are they being held against their will?
You can't leave us hanging! there, Damo! You gotta read out what it says!
Damo.
That's not what was asked of me. And even if I had to, I don't think someone who can't explain himself should have his secrets revealed to everyone.
Some things are better left unsaid.
For the record, I know what Wolfgang's blackmail says, but it didn't change my outlook on him. I don't think it's possible for anyone to hate someone like Wolfgang. He was always brave in the face of sheer adversity, and encouraged everyone else to act likewise.
Oh.
Wolfgang challenged me to be a better person. Wolfgang challenged all of us to be better people. And maybe Ava simply couldn't rise to his challenge.
Damn! Get her ass!
Get her ass!
Damn!
They can drink that haterade.
He's trying to divert everyone from the truth.
Girl, just give it up,
Even
girl.
though Wolfgang and I didn't always see eye to eye, my respect for him and his talent never wavered. Why would someone like me harm him? Me, who's been leading this trial much the same way he led the one before. I may have questioned the idea no one here would kill, but that doesn't make me someone who wants to see bloodshed.
He does! He does want bloodshed!
Girl. The stuttering.
We have all the proof he's a cold-blooded killer. Wolfgang's blackmail, which he lied about having.
That's not even proof, girl.
But wasn't Damon playing? Nothing he says should be trusted. Nothing he says about me or anything else.
He literally was playing a game at the time.
Literally. Koimias, thank you for the follow.
Hey, hello.
It is odd that we place faith in a man who does not have faith in us. So much so, these discussions are mostly led by his own conjecture.
Damon isn't the killer, though. Why would he try to mislead anyone? Like, he and I were playing a game when the murder happened, and multiple people can vouch for us.
For real.
Not to mention, the things he's been saying make a lot of sense.
Let's go.
Hey, Allie with the gay bits. The gay cheers.
Let's go.
Truth has no personal alliance. That's why.
Even if he wasn't here, we'd arrive at the same conclusion anyway.
Depends who you mean by we.
Then, you all still think I'm the killer?
Someone needs to be voted by the end of this.
Don't just say it like that.
Oh shit. And it's broken.
Crash out.
That cool, calm, collected composer. Mm-hmm. Shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
How would I know? How would I know when to drop it?
Girl, it's over.
Drop what?
The battery! Damon says the killer dropped the battery when Diana was already in the boiler room. But how would I know when Diana was in the boiler room? It's not as if I could listen out for her. The music speakers are too loud. And the dining hall has no clocks, so it'd be impossible for me to know if it was 8:45 a.m.
Right. Only Mark's DJ pad had a clock.
Maybe Ava asked Mark for the time.
She never spoke to me.
We never spoke! I never even got up from my chair! Besides, how could I be sure Diana arrived on time anyway? If you can't explain how I knew when to drop the battery, then shut up and stop accusing me!
Oh shit.
It makes a decent point. How did she drop the battery in time? Did she just rely on chance? No, that doesn't seem likely. Her entire plan fails if the timing isn't right. Come on, think. If my years of debate have taught me anything, I need to look at this from another angle. If I just take it from the top, while assuming Eva's the killer. I think I'm gonna drop the battery.
She couldn't have checked the time. I'm guessing is a no. She said she couldn't hear. How would she have seen Diana enter? Because this is the only option, really, if we eliminate all the other ones.
Yeah, if you eliminate all other options, then you gotta try the one that makes the most amount of sense.
I got it.
Oh!
The only way the killer would have known when to spring their trap was by seeing Diana enter the room. Any uncertainty would ruin the plan, and the dining hall was too loud to hear anything over.
So where did she watch Diana from? There are only two possible places.
Did she watch from the vent?
This one is a doozy, but it's expecting you to make some crazy jumps here. I will tell you it's not the vent.
It's not the vent.
No.
How the fuck would she have... Think of the wildest thing. How would she get access to the camera, though? This is literally the only other way.
Try and see what happens.
This is it.
How?
It's impossible to see anything from the vent, which means the only way anyone could see into the room was by using the school cameras.
Say what?
I don't understand how, but
How?
Ava
She
must have
hack
used
it?
the camera.
Is she working with the kidnappers?
Are you kidding me? How the hell would I have access to the camera?
In order to actually see what was happening on the security cameras, what would even need access to? Naturally, it would have been some sort of screen.
Did she use her fucking watch shit?
What I will tell you to do right now, quickly, is go ahead and use the F1 button if you can to save.
Oh shit. Okay.
Uh-huh. All right, because the bad thing's about to happen.
Oh no.
But I'll let you decide if you want to push for it. So there is... We've been a little slow so far, so there's probably roughly an hour left. But that's also assuming if we do good with this whole mini-game situation. I don't know if you want to try and push through that tonight, or try and do it like as a mini stream tomorrow for the final bit of the game. That's up to you. Because unfortunately, due to the mini game, it makes it really tough to know exactly how long it's going to take.
Right.
But we're looking at roughly, you know, an hour potentially.
Okay. I am very scared for the minigame. Because
Fair.
I don't play those type of games, so I
Yeah.
know I'm not. Evan, you're gonna Dark said you're gonna walk over to my house to play the minigame.
I mean, it's probably gonna happen
Yeah.
when we do it.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Shit. I don't know if I want to keep going.
Yeah, it's a tough one to figure out the guesstimation of time.
Yeah.
But if you're saying we have all the time in the world tomorrow, even if it takes us 2 hours to get through that minigame, which I fucking hope not, we would be able to, you know, we'd have all the time for it. You know, with the walkthrough and following, you know, they do it easy, and there's about 50 minutes left of the game. So, like, and that's with them getting the minigame done in one shot, which I don't think we're gonna pull off.
Yeah.
And it's 8:07 now. So we'd be expecting to go past 9 o'clock most likely.
Yeah. I'd say we'll have to call it.
That is extremely fair. You were literally like, a few points away from triggering the minigame, so I was like, I need to make sure we save right now, otherwise we are fucked.
That is.
Because once you go into it, you can't save.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
Shit.
So this is a great place to save, and then we can get the minigame in tomorrow, and yeah, we have easy time, and then, you know, it could be a small stream. Afterwards, we could do something else, but that gives us time to not worry about the pressure of rushing it tonight or anything.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the better idea.
Yeah, it'll give time to decompress and talk about the game afterwards too. It'll give you time to wrap up instead of being like, it's 9:30 p.m. I gotta wake up at 4. Oh God.
Yeah, definitely that.
Yeah.
Oh no, Channy. You crashed out because you couldn't save it. Oh no.
Yeah.
That's awful. Yeah, no, we're gonna save it till tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
And then, look, the first like 20 minutes, maybe even 15, because I am not patient with these type of things. If I don't get it, I'd be like, Evan, come over.
I can already be there for the start if you want me to.
Oh, you know what? Even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
Oh man, yeah, we'll figure that out tomorrow. But yeah, I'm ready in the wings.
Sounds good.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Wow, holy shit. This bitch. I am really curious on how exactly they execute the killers.
Because you haven't seen that before, so this will be your first. No one give any spoilers. This will be your first experience in another infamous part of how these games work. So
yeah, I am very curious on that. Because Tozu, like, he's unhinged. So I'm like, I feel like it's not going to be like a quick and easy death. Like, I feel like it's not going to be like, oh, Mara, shoot her, and she's dead. You know? Like, but I have no idea what that man is capable of doing, so well,
you'll find out tomorrow.
Oh my God.
In the grand finale.
Man, I feel so validated right now.
Yep.
For not liking her ass.
All your hatred.
Oh my God. That shit's crazy. Channy, I hate you. Like, I didn't even like her before she was even outed as the killer. Like, just her lying and stuff. I was like, girl, what you doing? Like, that wasn't smart. What you doing?
Oh man. But yeah, we'll just have to see how all that goes tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, let's go and wrap this bad boy up.
Heck yeah. Alright. Just gonna leave it on this screen. Oh, Snow! Snow just appeared in the chat.
Oh no, Snow!
Oh no! I'm just about to end.
Oh no!
Snow! No!
Oh man.
Oh man. Dang it, right at the end too. Well, if you're free tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST.
5 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep. I'll be finishing it.
Yep.
Okay, bet. Yay!
Yeah, we're right before everyone's personal hell, the bullet hell. So prepare for that.
I'm just gonna have Evan just here.
Yeah, try and get caught up by then.
All right. Yeah, if y'all want to tune in tomorrow at 5, be here for Eva's execution and the bullet hell.
Yeah.
Which I'll probably have Evan just do for me.
That is so fair. That is so fair.
Because you're the professional gamer here.
Yeah. Oh man, it's hell even for me.
See, that's saying something. That's just saying something.
Oh,
Disney Fanatic, thank you for the follow.
Hey.
Thank you. But all right, yeah, tune in tomorrow at 5 to see the end. And good night. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, and thanks, Evan, for being my voice boy.
Pleasure to be here as always.
All right, good night, everyone.
Oh, man.
Bye.
Bye.